Preseason Pregame Show. I'm Chris Gay, joined by Coach Todd Escola. Thank you, Coach, for being with me today, and congratulations on a huge win against a non-conference opponent in 6A Jonesboro. And I know that there were a lot of factors leading up to that game that were not necessarily in your team's favor, but you guys still came into enemy territory and pulled out with a big win.
Yeah, great football team. Really proud of our kids. First time in a 30-year career we've been stuck on the side of the road with a broken-down bus for 2 hours and no air conditioning and sweating. And so a lot of things had to be altered from our pregame meal. You know, we couldn't eat our pregame meal. We got there, and they had a bunch of stuff going on, so we only had 15 minutes to warm up before we played, and it was kind of everything could go wrong, did go wrong. But proud of our kids. Got to learn a life lesson about, you know, control the controllables and having to deal with adversity. But the kids played hard, still made a lot of mistakes we can correct, but I was proud of their resiliency and their ability to overcome.
Well, and for the audience, just to know, how long do you guys typically have to warm up before a game?
We typically take the field with our first group about 5:20, and we have 3 different sessions that go out. So it cut it probably from a 45 minute warm-up time for most of our kids into about 15 to no more than 20 minutes. So it was all condensed and rushed, and probably not getting to eat in the restaurant was a bigger deal, having to stay on the bus for almost 4 hours to get there and not be able to let our kids off the bus. That was a lot harder.
Well, and, I mean, the resiliency for your coaching staff and your squad to be able to come out and get a win. And we were just talking a minute ago about this Jonesboro team looks like a playoff team. So I know they're a very, very good team, but I know they still made a lot of plays, but there were some things that you guys did extremely well. I think you guys really, I don't know the numbers on this, but you guys limited the passing attack from Jonesboro, who has a pretty solid quarterback. And what were the things that you were telling your team the week heading into this game that you're proud of the way that they were able to respond and execute on the field?
Yeah, well, number one, you know, limiting the self-inflicted mistakes. We still had a few, you know, we had turnover, we had a few penalties that were just, we got to get better. But I was proud of the kids for just staying the course. You know, against PA, we had some breakdowns in our pass pro. I think we gave up seven sacks against PA. We had 0 against Jonesboro. That was a big deal. You know, you keep his jersey clean, you're going to have a really good chance to win. And that's probably the thing that stuck out. And then establishing the ground game, especially in the second half, being able to know that we've got control of the game. We don't have to do anything crazy, just run the clock, make first downs, and we win. And it was nice to see the kids pick that up and the offensive line and the running backs kind of take command in the fourth quarter and just say, Coach, just run the ball, let's make first downs, and let's take it out of their hands. And that was nice.
Well, speaking of the running backs, both Abrams and Jordan Thomas had phenomenal games. And I know probably the play calling, I did notice that early on in the PA game it was pass heavy to start out the game, probably to maybe knock the jitters off a little bit too. But I noticed that the priority was to get that run game going. Are you happy with the way that they performed?
I am. You know, Jonesboro's huge, and they're physical. We're using these 3 games to prepare us not only for our conference play, for the playoffs. And Pulaski Academy was a little different challenge. This week, or last week rather, we really wanted to establish the run game. And we challenged our kids. You know, we feel blessed that we've got 5 tailbacks that I'd hand it to any of them and wouldn't blink an eye. But we've had some injuries in the offensive line. We were starting a couple of sophomores at Jonesboro, and we wanted to challenge them to be physical. And we just want to work into being 50-50. And we're hope this week with Lakeside we can be closer to 50-50 in how we run our offense.
Now, one of the 5 tailbacks, I'm assuming he's one of the 5, but he also plays, it seems like every other position on the field is Deuce Williams. And he had those 2 interceptions against Pulaski Academy, also had a couple first down runs in that game, but then he takes a fumble to the house for the first score of the game. How happy, I know this is his first year with the program, how happy are you that this guy is being able to contribute on both sides of the football for the Senators?
Well, the best part about him is he's like so many of he's just a great kid, fantastic young man, fantastic family, and all of our kids are. We've got great kids. And so just to be able to see him go out and excel, he's got a special talent. Obviously, he's got great bloodlines with his dad in the NFL and his mom an athlete as well. But he's going to keep making plays all year. And just happy for him. And Tank Reese having a huge game at linebacker. He's the one that popped the ball loose to stop the drive and create the turnover. So the kids are talented. It's just a matter of getting into a groove. And, we're not a fast starting team in the season. It's at first 3 or 4 weeks of the season, we're just going to kind of keep building up, keep getting better. And we don't want to peak too early. We want to be peaking in November and December. And that's kind of the trajectory we see our team on.
Now, looking ahead to Hot Springs Lakeside, they are a very solid football team. They, of course, had one of the most watched matchups last week when they played Sheridan. And, of course, Sheridan coached by Kevin Kelly, who probably all too well. But Lakeside was able to get a commanding victory, and part of it was behind the back of Grady Oman, who is a pretty solid running back with Lakeside. I know he's 300-something rushing yards in just 2 games early on the season. I know stats don't resonate with you, but what is kind of the plan of attack because the running game is obviously their forte right now. What's the plan of attack there?
Well, first of all, Lakeside's a heck of a football team. They made the second round last year of the playoffs, lost to Pine Bluff. This year they're going to be a playoff team. This will be our 3rd straight playoff game in our mind that we've had to play. All 3 teams in our non-conference will play in the playoffs, probably play deep in the playoffs. But Lakeside's balanced. You talk about the run game, and they do a great job. They mirror us a lot in what they do and the plays they run, but they've got a really talented running back. But they also won every 7-on-7 they went to this summer, so they can throw it around too. But they're physical. They do a really good job. They're really well coached. And so it's going to be a great challenge. The other thing we've been practicing this week, and you've probably heard it when you came up, is, we're going to have 2 fantastic bands. And you're not going to be able to hear in that stadium. It's nonstop back and forth. And so we've been blasting music all week and trying to create that environment so our kids are going to be prepared for it. The last time they played here, my head hurt after the game. And it was great. They sound great, fantastic band on both sides. But when you get an environment like that, it's a lot of fun, but you've also got to prepare for it. And we've been working hard to do that this week.
Do you think that having a strong band, whether it's on your side or the other side, do you think that could pump up some players?
Oh, it's community. We love our band. We love our cheerleaders. We get to go watch our band here in a few weeks with them compete. We've done that for years and years now, and it's kind of one of those things we're proud of because it's kind of started a trend with a lot of other schools in the state that the football teams take a day off practice. I don't care if it's a conference game. Don't care who we're playing. If the band's competing, we're going to go support them just like they support us. And so we're looking forward to that. But it does make a difference. It makes a huge difference when your community is behind you and the community rallies around. And we love our community here in West Little Rock and couldn't be prouder of all of our kids.
This is more just a curiosity question. Not a lot of coaches have that mindset towards like the band or the cheer squad or any of the other groups. It's like, only focus on us and everybody else, oh well. Were you ever in the band and at any of your time?
Yeah, I was in the choir.
Okay, yeah.
When I was a student, but we're just the opposite. I took flack from football coaches across the state when we took our team to see the band. I took flack both years we won a state championship because we bought the football team rings, we bought the cheerleaders rings, we bought the administrators rings, the custodians. We let the band buy rings if they wanted to buy rings. To me, it's a community won the state championship. And, boy, I was hated by so many high school coaches across the state. But I want to do right by my community. And for me, it's all about our community. And when we win, that's exactly what it is. The band was there every trip. The cheer was there every trip. We win together. And that's what I think makes this place special.
Well, the community will be on full display tonight as first home game of the season. What is your expectation of not only the crowd but the atmosphere?
It's going to be great, from the fireworks displays to the cheer and the band and the student section on both sides. Lakeside's going to bring a great crowd. I just want to play well. You know, it's going to sound like a broken record for you all year long. You know, I told our team this week, if we play better than we did last week, we're probably going to win. But if we don't, Lakeside's a heck of a football team, and they're going to come in here and beat us. And we've got to continue to get better and doing the little things, the basic things better than anybody else. And that's right now where we're trying to really focus. And hopefully we'll play well.
Well, and as you just mentioned, the firework display. Now, I'm a North Little Rock guy. So now Charging Wildcats had some great traditions, but nothing like fireworks after a win. Even the win against Fountain Lake in the benefit game, you guys still set off some fireworks. Where did that tradition, or when did it start?
We've had some parents that own a fireworks stand, and they do a great job. Shoot them off at the beginning of the game and after scores. And some people have cannons, some people have whatever's. We like fireworks out here, and our fans and our community like it. So hopefully we get to shoot a lot of them off tonight.
I'm guessing that maybe the fans like it, the wildlife maybe not so much. But now going back to the matchup against Lakeside, you had just mentioned there were some things you guys still wanted to clean up. What are some of those things that you guys can clean up in your first conference matchup?
We've got to try to be balanced tonight. I think Lakeside's defense is really good. They shut down Sheridan. They're aggressive. They're physical. We've got to do a really good job of us staying balanced, executing. We dropped a bunch of balls week one. We can't drop passes. Defensively, we got to get aligned right. Lakeside's a team that's going to check at the line based on what they see, so we're going to have to stem. We're going to have to move around and give them different looks. If it's the old adage, if I'm calling plays and I know what defense you're running, I can call good plays. But if you move around a lot, it makes it more difficult for a play caller. And so you've got to make sure you're giving them enough looks that they're going to have a harder time calling plays rather than knowing exactly where you're going to be and call plays based on that.
And the receiving core. Now, I know that a lot of the people that watch the Robinson games probably are not familiar with your wide receiver core just because you have a lot of new faces. I mean, you have new faces on both sides of the football, but your receiving core, I think 4 or 5 of them are sophomores.
Yeah, they're babies.
Yeah, so, but I know that still the plan of attack is, a lot of teams, if they have a young receiver core, they may not be very confident in them, but it seems like compared to last year, you guys are just passing more. So how confident are you in that receiving core?
They're terrific athletes. Receivers have to learn just like every position. And sophomores, the adage was for every sophomore you play, you lose a game. Well, I hope that's not true because we're playing a lot of sophomores. But it takes some time. The little nuances. Against Jonesboro, we had a route called, and I raised my hands up on the sideline pre-snap because it was a touchdown. Our quarterback knew it was a touchdown. And our sophomore receiver stemmed wrong coming off the line and threw him off his tracks, and he didn't get back on his tracks to climb where he was supposed to, run the route like he was supposed to. But that's something we can fix on film, and that's a sophomore mistake. Just seeing a little different look from the defense than you practiced and not being able to adjust to it post-snap. And the older these guys get, the more they're going to be able to adjust after the snap, and that's when you become an elite receiver. And we're just not quite there yet. We've gotten a lot better this week at it because we've been intentional practicing, with our young guys and knowing the situation. We ran a comeback route, and it was 16, 17 yards downfield. Rather than getting half of it back, he tried to go the entire length on third down. Well, I'm going to go for it on fourth down. I don't care if we get 18 yards or 12 yards. 4th and 6, manageable. And so just those little nuances of playing the game, those sophomores, the more they play, the better they're going to get at it. But we trust them. We feel confident in them, and we're going to continue to throw the ball up in the air and chunk it around and let them make plays.
Well, and still staying on the receiving core, you have, I know, obviously there's a lot of youth in that room, but there's also, it seems like there's, 5 or 6 that you will rotate in and out. So clearly there's multiple players that can make, and we've seen that on the last 2 Friday nights. There's a lot of guys that can make plays, and just talk about a few of those players that maybe they don't start, but they still come in and play almost as many snaps as maybe some of the starter receivers.
Yeah, both sides of the ball, we like to play a lot of kids. We think that helps your depth, especially non-conference. We've been playing a lot of kids, probably too many on defense because it's, you can't get in really good a rhythm and get lined up quickly. But we want to play a lot of kids in non-conference just to develop depth. That's more than anything else, and it's intentional, trying to play a lot of kids. Mike Hayes is one of our best defensive players, and he got more snaps last week on offense. Well, he's a dynamic athlete, and he's had a great week of practice this week on both sides of the ball. Kyron Grimes is a sophomore who is going to be through the roof, and he played more defense than he did in week one. And so you're going to see a lot of faces on both sides of the ball, and that's intentional with us trying to build depth before we get to conference. When we get to conference, that way the kids have been on both sides of the ball, and we feel comfortable that they are going to be acclimated to play at the level we want to play at.
Now, I know that obviously great receiving core, and also Tyson Braden has shown that he's a great quarterback. I know he had some struggles in that game against Jonesboro, just a handful, but and I know that this is his first year with the program, and I don't know how long or how much he played at North Little Rock outside of just his junior season, but what are you telling Braden as your quarterback to try to keep up his confidence and to get through the difficulties that will appear week to week?
I never have to worry about his confidence. Tyson's a fantastic young man. Always confident, always believes in his teammates. His miscue was a tip ball that they picked off, and that's just his trajectory on the pass. He didn't get it up quite high enough. He threw it a little bit too low, but that's something you can fix. He was the first one on the sideline to tap his chest, and that's me. We'll get it back. Super confident late in the game. When we were running the clock, he was right there with the O-line saying, keep it on the ground, let's run it, let's get this game over with and go to the house. The only chance they had was if we don't burn clock or we turn the ball over, and we were confident in our line and our running backs to run the football and make first downs, and he was right there leading the charge. So never have to worry about his confidence. He's even in the first game when we had a lot of breakdowns with our pass pro, he remained upbeat. He's just such a great leader that I have full confidence in him.
Well, for any fans that are either watching GOT for the first time, and because this is a home game, everybody's going to be tuned in, or maybe just fans that may be listening and watching at the same time, I don't know. What do you have to say to them and the team that you're going to display on the field in this game against Lakeside?
Well, number one, thank you for supporting our kids. We've got great kids. We're going to try to play hard. We're going to try to represent West Little Rock and our community to the very best of our ability, and we're going to try to make you proud. Win, lose, or draw, we're going to play as hard as we can. We're going to get better every week, and hopefully at the end of the day we can look at the scoreboard and be really happy.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for being with me today. And everyone, that is the end of the Joe T. Robinson High School Football pregame show. Back to the field. Good evening and welcome to Senator Football under the Friday Night Lights on the Robinson Sports Network, presented by Natural State Sports. I'm Chris Gay, joined by my color analyst, Jake Hall, and the sun is just now peeking out. It is about to be a beautiful evening of high school football here from Charlie George Stadium on the campus of Joe T. Robinson High School here in Little Rock, Arkansas. The Senators hosting in their first home game and first conference game the Hot Springs Lakeside Rams, and what a game this will be.
Yeah, this is one of the most highly looked at games this week here, especially in Class 5A. It's going to be two talented squads going head-to-head here on a great Friday evening here in Arkansas for some high school football.
Exactly right, and some high school football that is, well, both of these teams really good, and obviously one of the top games in the state, number one game in the class of 5A. And, boy, I can tell you, this is going to be a shootout. I don't know if it'll be one of those defensive battles where the score comes out to be 7-5 or something like that. It's going to be a shootout for sure.
I think it's going to be a shootout, and I think both of these teams have some excellent weapons. I think Robinson has talented receivers, running backs, and a talented quarterback. Lakeside, on the other hand, they also have a talented quarterback and a running back. I think this might come down to who has the best athletes on the outside and on the defensive side of the ball, especially back there in the secondary, and who can make plays against a great quarterback that they have there at Lakeside, who threw for 2 touchdowns and 194 yards in a mercy rule over Sheridan last week, 56-27. That's going to be a very big emphasis for this Robinson defense, is to shut that quarterback down and not give him any lanes to throw through, especially with their talented right tackle that you spoke of earlier. He's committed to the University of Arkansas, and so it's going to be tough to get back there and get pressure on him, but that's exactly what the Senators have to do if they want to shut down this passing game.
Exactly right. The pass protection has been great for the Rams, but guess what? So has the run blocking. Now, Grady Oman is the starting running back and linebacker for the Rams. He was last week's Arkansas Democrat Player of the Week after putting up 133 rushing yards on 15 attempts and 5 rushing touchdowns in that mercy rule over Sheridan. And that's supposed to be a good Sheridan football team. But what a game he had. And that wasn't even his best game all year. His first game against a grind-out win over Lake Hamilton, he ran the ball 22 times, had 252 rushing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns. That's just over 10 yards a carry. This guy is an incredible back, and the thing is, he only has an offer from Hendrix College, a Division III school, but he is going to be a guy that we're going to be calling all night long.
Absolutely, and I also want to mention how Lakeside's head coach, I don't know if you heard about this, but Coach Rockwell for the Rams, he had spoken to the media earlier this week, and he had talked about he thinks this game is going to come down to who has the most turnovers. We saw last week for the Senators, they won the turnover battle at getting at least 2 different turnovers, one of them being taken back for a touchdown. So let's give the Senators some credit here. They went on the road and beat a 6A opponent in a hostile environment. That was a huge win for the Senators last week, and just everybody just performed fantastic. We had some great runs from Nick Abrams, who got into the end zone twice. Nick Braden played a pretty decent game himself. It was just a fantastic ball game all around for the Senators.
Now we're going to take a second for the national anthem. Well, that was the national anthem performed by the Joe T. Robinson Senator Band, and we'll talk a little bit more about them later in the game, as Coach Escola had some interesting comments to say. And if you didn't catch the pregame show, he had a lot of interesting comments to say about the Senator and the Ram Band. But first, I do want to mention, guess what, Jake? We finally have a sponsor for the Robinson Sports Network. It is First Community Bank. First Community Bank. So here at First Community Bank, we believe that investing in our communities provides us all with a brighter future. And it's something we've been doing since we were founded in 1997. We're proud to support the Senators in everything they do, not just because they're great in athletics, but because they represent what makes community so special. People coming together to work hard and make something amazing happen. When you bank local, everyone wins. Go Senators, First Community Bank, where community comes first. Member FDIC. Well, it is great to have First Community Bank on our side, but guess what? That doesn't mean that we can't take more sponsors. And a little thing about me, I was at Ouachita Baptist the last 4 years as a commentator for basketball, volleyball, what have you, and didn't get to do a lot of commercials and advertisements, but it was something that I really love to do. I think the one time I did it for Chicken Express, great chicken place if you're ever in Arkadelphia. But look, if you're watching this broadcast and you're thinking about sponsoring the Robinson Sports Network, look, I will sing your praises. We will take everybody we can get. I will talk about you so many times during the game, just like I will with First Community Bank. Well, the Senator football team about ready to run out onto the field. The captains for the Senators and the Rams on the field now. For the Senators, Nick Abrams is one of the captains at midfield. So is number 16, Darnell Clark. Number 17, Malachi Muhammad. It's just 3 of the 4 captains for the Senators. And then for the Rams, number 45 and number 42.
And you spoke about that interview with Coach Escola earlier. We all appreciate anybody that tuned in early to get a glimpse into what Coach Escola had to say to us. Make sure you tune in early every single week, as we will be getting to know Coach Escola more and more, as well as highlighting some of our star players each and every week early on this broadcast before every game Friday nights.
And to clarify, number 42 is Luke Vondenstein, the senior for the Rams, and number 45 is Walker DeLong. Not sure who won the coin toss, nor who receives, but we will see in just a hair over 3 minutes. But Jake, this is going to be a great football game. I mean, these are 2 high-powered offenses, as we've talked so much about, and again, I'm going to stand by the fact that it's going to be a shootout.
I've got some good feelings about this game. I think it's going to, like you said, it might be high scoring, but I've got a lot of faith in the Senator defense. They have got athletes at every level of that defense, secondary, linebacker, defensive line. They've got the guys to do it. So if I really think they have a shot to take control of this game early defensively and let their offense go to work. And if that's how this game ends up, there's a good chance that the Senators come out on top.
Look, Lakeside has played some pretty good teams so far this season in Lake Hamilton and Sheridan, as the Senator football team making their appearance out onto the football field. But I don't know if they've seen any athletes like Tank Reese and Josh Smith and Caleb Doucette. Of course, Tank Reese had 18 tackles in their win over Jonesboro, a 6A program who had a pretty good running back, as we learned in T.J. Brown. But Josh Smith also had 10 tackles in that game. And Caleb Doucette was frankly the defensive player of the game, because he made the game-saving or clinching, whatever you want to call it, sack in that game. I mean, they're all game records. Also got to include Dominio Patterson and Michael Hayes in that group. So this is going to be a test for both teams, but especially for the Rams.
And I do want to give a shout-out to some of these other special games going on around the state. You have Bryant and Parkview going at it, another Natural State sports broadcast over there with the Parkview Patriots. They're going to be traveling to Bryant tonight. Bryant looking for revenge after Parkview was the first in-state team to beat them in about 8 years, if I'm not mistaken. So that game should be a fantastic watch. I believe that one's going to be real close. Both teams have got some special guys, so I'm going to try to keep you guys updated on the scores for the Parkview Patriots throughout this broadcast as well.
Yeah, D1 talent on for both squads. And for the Rams, Darren Owens, junior running back, set to return off the William Tate kickoff. And just like that, we are underway for the Senators' first playoff game of the season. Owens, he's got a lot of room, going up to the 50. And we got a little bit of a scrum going on about the 20-yard line.
I mean, it should have been holding at the 20-yard line. One of the Rams just tackled one of our coverage players, so that should be headed back, but no flag on the field, so we'll let that go. Rough start to this game for the Senators as they give up a pretty decent return, but I got to tell you, this is our first live home game for the regular season. You get to hear this this Senator band. Get this. You got that crisp air right now.
Yeah.
You know, it feels like football season. I'm getting hype. I'm ready to see some Senator football right now.
It really does. And of course, it felt like summer for that benefit game and the game against the Bruins. But all of a sudden, it just feels like fall, and it's not technically fall yet, but it feels like it. But not only a rough start for the Senators, they will have to, as the Rams will start at the 48-yard line off the kickoff return, but also a rough start for Drew Kelly, senior defensive back for the Rams. He's being helped off the field after just one play on special teams.
I don't know if you saw the signs walking up to the press box, but they've got signs lining the field. This is the Senate chamber, and there's a lot of Senator fans up here that are about to make this game hectic for the Rams.
There's a handoff to Oman. And is Oman going to be a problem tonight? A solid carry of about 4 yards on the play for Grady Oman.
Yeah, that was a nice little run by the Rams.
Well, and guess who stopped it? That's Tank Reese, of course. 18 tackles last week.
You want to know how you get your offense rolling on the road to start the ball game? You run that rock. If you get that rock moving, it's a good chance you get the offense in a rhythm.
Wally Walcott, the quarterback for this Ram offense, and he hands it off to Oman. Only gets about maybe a yard on the play.
We saw this last week. Jonesboro was really trying to run the ball early. If you give the Senator defensive line too much of an idea of what you're going to do next play, they're going to shut you down. But that was a good stop right there. As they only gained a yard, so now they're kind of in a third and long position at 3rd and 6.
Yeah, 3rd and 6 on the Senator 44-yard line. Two receivers either side with Oman in the backfield. Here's Walcott looking to pass. Incomplete pass from Walcott. Clear miscommunication for his squad.
Yeah, nobody was there to catch that pass for the Rams, and the Senators were playing decent coverage, so good job by the Senators to stop them on 3rd down, but it looks like they might go for it here on 4th.
4th and 6.
This is some this is kind of no man's land, so not a too surprising call.
Trying to get the Senators to jump off sides, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Yep, it will.
It's not going to give them the first, but
No,
it's going to be 4th and short now.
Yeah, it will be 4th and short with a really good running back in Grady Oman that is great in short yardage plays.
When you get in situations like that, especially on 4th down, you got to be yelling to your teammates, don't jump off sides, because there's a good chance that's all they might have been trying to do, was just trying to get you to jump off sides, and if they couldn't get it to work, just call a timeout.
4th and 1 from the 39-yard line. Oman in the backfield. Two receivers to the left. Handoff to Oman. He breaks the tackle. And it's going to be Josh Smith that brings him down, but not before picking up a big first down on the 4th down play.
Yeah, that was Deuce Williams who got in the backfield early, tried to bring him down, but good job by that Rams running back to break that tackle and get the first down for the Rams.
First and 10 from the Senator 30-yard line. Just a hair over 10 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Walcott looking for his man. He's got some space, and he caught it out of bounds, but he had the step on Kyron Grimes.
I think that would have been a tough ball to just get to hit him with. It was some decent coverage. I think if he would have thrown it a little bit in front of him, I think our Senators defensive back there would have caught up to him and might have been able to break that pass up. So he was really just trying to keep it out of the hands of the Senator defense.
Walcott was looking for Ryan Ballard on the play, the tall wide receiver. Can also play a little bit of quarterback. Now two receivers again to the right, one to the left. Walcott looking right, finds his man. Oh, what a hit by Michael Hayes on second down. First completion of the game, though, for the Rams, but at what cost?
Hayes just made that dude's eyes go hazy. He smacked him.
That was Ben Vincent on the reception for the Rams. Vincent, a solid wide receiver, going to be a guy that Rams fans are going to hear a lot about during the season. Already has a couple of college offers, one from Bethel College in Missouri.
I love these athletes that the Senators have behind the defensive line, whether it's Tank Reese, Josh Smith, Michael Hayes, or Deuce Williams. Everybody's flying around trying to get to that football every single play.
Three receivers to the left, one to the right. Walcott finds his man open.
Little bubble screen.
And that's not going to be enough for a first down. It was a good stop on 3rd and 7 by the Senators. That was Luke Rubleski, the junior receiver, on the reception.
So 4th and 3 here. They still have their offense on the field, so Senators don't jump off sides and get ready for a quick pass or run.
Well, they had an all-state kicker last season, and Caleb Villenez, but of course he graduated. Not sure who their kicker is this year, but they're confident enough in their offense to get something going.
Nice
and it's going to be picked off by Tank Reese on 4th down. Turnover for the Rams, and the Senators have the football around the 30-yard line.
Give Mr. Reese some Reese's because he read that quarterback like a book. I'm talking about was right in the lane and almost took that for 6. If he would have kept his feet, that was going for 6, no doubt.
He read the play perfectly, saw where the quarterback's eyes were going. It was going to be a short pass. It was either going to be him or Michael Hayes on the interception. But Tank Reese, that is his second interception on the season.
Now we get our first look at this Senator offense. Good job to get the turnover there. So let's see what Braden and his accompanying players have in store for us.
They're going pass first. Braden going deep. He's got his man. Oh, in and out of his hands.
Off the
Braden was
fingertips.
looking for Jaden Todd on what would have been a huge play on first down.
You know, Braden's thrown a couple deep balls this year, has yet to really, except for last week, he connected with, I think that was Thomas going down the sideline. That was a pretty deep pass. He's yet to complete one of those real deep balls. Sooner or later, one of those is going to connect, and when this team gets the rhythm of throwing those deep balls, watch out.
Yeah, his longest pass or longest completion of the year has been 29 yards, but he shows that he's got the arm. Hand off to Abrams. Abrams leaps ahead for a few yards on the play. That was on 2nd and 10. Gets maybe about 3. They're going to give him 4 yards. So 3rd and 6 from the 31-yard line. Well, Abrams played really well in that game against Jonesboro. I know no one's listening to us for player of the game, but he was our offensive player of the game for Robinson. Had 15 carries, about 78 rushing yards, and a touchdown in that win. Braden finds Abrams. Abrams makes a man miss, makes another man miss. That's going to be a first down down around the 42-yard line for the Senators.
That was a good job right there by Abrams to get the first down after breaking a few tackles. Big play for the Senators.
Hey, and that's what teams love to see. Your running back can do a little bit more than just run through the blockers. He can also go out and catch. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left.
Braden back to pass, going deep, and picked off. Picked off by the Rams. He was looking for, I believe that was Caden Pettis. It was. He was looking for Caden Pettis. And it looks like Landon Rea, the senior defensive back, got up and ran the route perfectly, kept Pettis away from the football, and picks it off.
Going back to what Coach Rockwell said for the Rams, this game's going to come down to turnovers. Already both teams have a turnover apiece, so it's going to maybe it might not come down to turnovers, but who can get the ball in the end zone. Both of these defenses looking pretty good so far here tonight.
Well, the ball will be at around the 21-yard line for the Rams. Omen in the backfield. Three receivers, now one in motion. Two receivers on either side. Looking for his man. Oh, he's got a man open. Oh, in and out of his hands. He was looking for Luke Rubleski. Plays wide receiver and running back. He just could not corral that football. That would have been a huge play for Lakeside.
Oh, that's a rough pill to swallow there. He was wide open. That one was going to the house, no doubt. If he could just hold on to that football.
Well, a lot of drops early here for both sides. It's not raining anymore.
It's not raining anymore. It has been raining earlier today, but everything should be dry out here. I don't see any sprinkles, so.
2nd and 10 from the 21. Hand off to Omen. Omen trying to follow his blockers. Only gets about maybe 1 or 2 yards on the play. The Senators had that one corralled in pretty well.
That was a good job by the Senators to string that to the sideline. You know, you use that sideline as your 12th defender and make sure that they don't get too many yards with that.
They're going to be generous there and give him 4 on the carry. So 3rd and 6 from the 25-yard line.
Big 3rd down.
And Michael Hayes.
Hayes was trying to guess the snap count, I guess, and that was a bad guess.
Yeah, it will remain 3rd down, but it will be 3rd and short now for the Rams. He, like you said, he was trying to guess the snap and jumped way too early, was going to try to jam the receiver.
Well, you know, I think I've never really seen anybody try to guess the snap count for a jamming of the receiver. I've seen maybe for like a blitz. I don't think I've ever seen anybody try to guess the snap count to jam a receiver, though.
It is 3rd and 1 from the 30-yard line. Expect a run. That's exactly what will happen. And Omen, that's going to be enough for a 1st down. Yep, just enough for a 1st down.
Tough. That's a tough one for the Senators. You know, you jump off sides and you give them a good shot at getting that 1st down, and the Rams taking advantage. Appreciate everybody tuning into this broadcast here tonight. Either side, we welcome all fans for either side. We love getting viewers out here to see some of our high school athletes really show out. If you wouldn't mind hitting that like and subscribe button here at the Robinson Sports Network, we would really appreciate it.
Walcott looking for his man and incomplete. Miscommunication again between Walcott and it looked like that was Rubleski.
That would have been a nice play if he would have connected with 10 there. Unfortunately, it falls incomplete for the Rams.
.542 left on the 1st quarter clock. It will be 2nd and 10 from the 29-yard line.
Feels like we haven't really gotten into a rhythm in this football game yet. So,
well, 2 interceptions doesn't help.
Yeah, that kind of stops both rhythms.
Omen on the carry. He'll get about a yard or 2, but not before getting stopped by, looks like a committee of defenders. Crusterson, Crusterson in on the stop along with Ari Montgomery. So it will be 3rd and long for the Rams. Another 3rd down opportunity for the Senator defense to come up with a big stop. Now the Rams have been able to convert on 3rd down, but really just on penalties. They have converted 1 4th down today.
Need to see some good coverage from the Senators' defenses. They are definitely about to throw this football. Play
Walcott
action.
looking right. Can't find anybody. Run down by Doucette. Caleb Doucette on the sack, forcing 4th and long for the Rams.
I guess Doucette just forgot to eat lunch today because he just got himself a sack lunch. That's what I'm talking about. He's the sack machine. Big sack last week and forced a fumble, and he just continues where he left off this week.
Yeah, 2 sacks so far on the season, and now the Rams are set to punt the football away. It's Britton Diaz, who also plays running back for this Ram offense, doing double duty. Deuce Williams, one of the Senators, back to receive. Here's the punt. It's a decent punt. Right to Williams. Williams going to take it. Waiting for his blockers. Williams turns a corner, going up the sideline, and he will be tackled out of bounds.
And that was a late hit.
Yeah, at about the 41-yard line. No flags on the field.
That looked pretty late to me, but, man, you can't give him any type of room. If you give him just an inch of room, he's going to squeeze through and make you pay for it. And right there, he got a nice little return back for about 20 yards to put the Senators in great field position.
Be 1st and 10 from the Ram 40-yard line as the offense is about ready to head out onto the field. Jordan Thomas will be in the backfield now for the Senators. It's pretty notable considering he splits time between Nick Abrams and, of course, Deuce Williams and Bryce Young Cunningham get a few carries every now and then as well. Hand off to Thomas. And that's a big – and there is a flag on the play.
I think that's going to be a face mask.
Yeah, that's going to help out the Senators a lot because that was a big loss. Let's see what the official ruling is.
The Rams had that one read perfectly, and I think they're about to pay for a face mask off of a great defensive play.
Yeah, it would have been a great defensive stop by the Rams. And now the Senators will march forward.
They didn't call face mask a horse collar tackle, but either way, same amount of yardage. I believe it's going to be a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down for the Senators.
Yeah, I think they did officially rule it as a face mask. Let's see where they spot him. They will spot him at the 33-yard line of the Rams. We have the opposing coaches in the booth next to us, and they're just shaking their heads after that last play. I just know that's got to be so frustrating, especially when that could have been about a 7-yard loss. Abrams and Thomas in the backfield. Abrams gets the carry, and he's going to muscle his way through, probably gets about 3 to 4 yards on the carry.
Give him about a 6-yard gain on that play. I love the way he just hit the hole right there, really hit the hole hard, and got probably an extra 2 yards after the contact.
Well, they're going to give it to him right in the middle of our prediction. 2nd and 5 from the 28-yard line. And trying to get the Rams offside, and that's exactly what happens. So the Senators will get a couple yards here. It will still be 2nd down. Be 2nd and short. It'd be 2nd and inches, so about as close as you can be from a first down. Oh, okay. Now they're giving them a first down. Okay, a little miscommunication between the officials, but it will be 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. Here's Braden. Looking right, looking to the end zone, and overthrows his receiver.
He was looking
for Tatum Hayes.
That was good coverage by the Rams. That was going to have to be a perfectly placed ball to keep it get it into the hands of the Senators, because that was pretty good coverage. Good try by the Senators, but that one's going to fall incomplete.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and 2 backs in the backfield. It's going to be, I thought it was going to be a handoff, but Abrams, nobody in the end zone. Touchdown, Senators! Nick Abrams, his 3rd touchdown on the season, first off a reception.
Abrams is a touchdown machine. Coach Escola must have saw something on film as the fireworks are going off here in this Senators chambers. Coach Escola must have saw something on film that left the receiver wide open, because as soon as because that's like the 2nd time now that they've hit Abrams for a nice gain with a pass like that.
And William Tate set to kick the First Community Bank extra point, and he converts. So the Senators leading 7-0 with 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Get ahead of your finances with First Community Bank with one of their personal or business checking options. First Community Bank, where the Senator community comes first. So Robinson draws first blood in their first conference and first home game of the 2024 season. Tyson Braden, it will be his 3rd touchdown pass of the season. Nick Abrams, his 3rd total touchdown on the year. Darren Owens, the returner, back for Lakeside. William Tate set to kick it off here for the Senators. And looks like the ball fell off the, what do you call that? It's the holding stand? T. I should know that. And Owens gets it back deep. Owens trying to get around, and that's going to be a flag on the play. The Rams special teams has been pretty physical so far tonight.
That was a block in the back. I saw it from up here. It was a, yeah, you can't do that. When the guy gets by you like that, you got to get back in front of him if you want to block him.
So the Rams will be backed up a bit farther.
Man, I just can't.
Oh, actually, there was a penalty on the Senators. I did not hear what it was. I started talking. So those penalties offset, so the Rams will have the football at the 19-yard line. Not sure what that Senator penalty was, but so the Rams do not back it up a little bit. So they'll start out at the 19-yard line.
See if the Senators defense can continue where they started in this last go-around.
Walcott, back to throw, looking for his man. He's got his man open. That's Vincent. Shakes off a tackle, shakes off a second, but pushed out of bounds by Deuce Williams. What a pickup by the Rams. They are going to set up about the 48-yard line of the Senators.
That was just a nice throw and catch there for the Rams as he found his wide receiver on the post route going to the left. The safeties there for the Senators kind of got caught lacking. I think they were standing back just a little bit too much. You gotta realize when you're the last line of defense and somebody's cutting there, you probably want to jump on top of that.
Ben Vincent, a very talented wide receiver so far coming into this game. 6 catches on the year, 151 yards and 1 touchdown. That's 25 yards a catch, and adds to his season totals there. Handoff to Omen. Omen, a solid run there. Going to pick up about 6 yards on the play.
That was Josh Smith who got in there to make the first contact and get him down. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 5 now for the Rams. The Senators need to try to get a tackle for loss here and put them in a long situation.
Clock ticking down from 2:16. Well, it is a packed house here in Charlie George Stadium for the first conference game of the season and first home game, as I keep mentioning. A great atmosphere so far. Omen with the handoff. And that will not be enough for a first down. He'll be about 2 yards short of the first, which is set up about the 38.
I think that's a Senator spot there. I think they could have spotted that ball just a yard farther on, but that's good for the Senators. It brings up a third and 3.
And we have it a Senator on the field. That's number 21, Tank Reese. And the trainer's going to go check him out.
The Senators have been doing a pretty decent job of clogging up the holes in the middle of the trenches there to kind of slow down the run game in the middle. But when they're running out to the side, the Rams, when they're running out wide, the Rams are getting a decent kind of push there. So wouldn't be surprised if that's where the Rams go with this one again.
Well, while we have a stoppage in play, let's hear from our sponsors at First Community Bank. When you bank local, everyone wins. That's why we're proud to support the Senators and our community. At First Community Bank, we're all about helping our neighbors thrive. We know that when you bank local, your money stays right here in town, which means businesses can thrive and people can get things done. But that doesn't mean it has to stop there. We want to help make sure the Senators are thriving too. And the best way to do that is by supporting them with your time and money. So go out there and show your pride for the Senators by wearing their T-shirt and cheering them on at every game this season. Go Senators! First Community Bank, where community comes first. Member FDIC. So 3rd and 3 from the Senator 41-yard line.
It's a pretty big third down here early on in this ball game for the Senators. See if they can't get a stop.
Handoff to Omen. Omen, that will be a Ram first down on 3rd and short. The clock remains rolling here.
Rams putting together a decent little drive here. The Senators are going to have to figure out a way to stop them early on 1st and 2nd down and keep them in that keeping that 2nd and 3rd and long situations. That's where they're thriving.
1st and 10 from the 37. New running back in for the Rams. That's Britton Diaz. Diaz gets the handoff, and he's going to get a good chunk of yardage. That's Britton Diaz, the senior, his first carry of the game. He's just under about 100 yards rushing on the year, playing second fiddle to Grady Omen. The 2nd and 5 from the 32-yard line. Just 30 seconds left on the first quarter clock.
They are just slamming the right side of that offensive line and really using their size on that side of the line to their advantage.
Well, left tackle is the Arkansas commit Tucker Young. And he was listed at 6'4", 290. He might even be bigger than that. So a catch. It's going to be a first down reception for the Rams. Actually, they may mark him a little bit shorter. Not sure where forward progress. Yep, forward progress will get him just ahead of the first down marker. So that was Rubleski on the first down reception for Lakeside. So that will do it for the first quarter of play. The Rams trailing the hometown Joe T. Robinson Senators 7-0. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We have more Senator football right after this.
PCSSD is a family-like environment. There's always smiling faces. There's greeting in the morning and the afternoon. They get a lot of involvement, not just parent involvement, student involvement, staff involvement, and I love all of that. I chose PCSSD because I was zoned here, but what made me stay was the support that we receive as a family.
And the best part about the day is my son come home with a smile on his face, that he enjoys school and excelled in the classroom. It's real big to our family.
And welcome back to the Robinson Sports Network. The Senators lead 7-0 here at the start of the second quarter. Here's the Rams going deep for the end zone. Overthrows his receiver, Walcott, looking for his wide receiver, A.J. Burns.
That was a good job by Kyron Grimes for the Senators to really keep up with that wide receiver and not really let him get any kind of separation.
Well, both of these teams have a great rushing attack, but they both really like to pass, and neither team has really been able to get much of a rhythm. An interception for both sides in that first quarter, and a few drops from both sides, especially from the Rams. They've had some deep plays that have had to be brought back because of a drop. And a handoff to Omen. That's a big pickup on second down. It will be 3rd and short for the Rams. I believe Josh Smith was in on the stop.
The Rams are kind of having their way with this run game here tonight, so the Senators are going to have to figure out a way to put a stop to that pretty quickly, or else they're going to get into the end zone.
2 to the left, 1 to the right. Omen in the backfield. It is 3rd and 2 from the 19-yard line. Omen gets the handoff, and that will be definitely good enough for a first down run on 3rd and 2.
Omen's really running with some patience. He's letting the hole develop in front of him, and that's giving him an extra few yards every single time he runs the ball. The patience he runs with is very impressive, especially at this level. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, he does have a lot of patience, and he's got some great size for running back. 5'11", 215 as a senior. I mean, he looks bigger than that, but he has size and he has patience, which you don't see at this level of high school football like you mentioned. Omen to the right side now of his quarterback. Man in motion, that's Vincent. Here's the snap. Vincent in the end zone, and in and out of his hands. Would have been another big play for the Rams, who are still scoreless in this football game. That was Wally Walcott, the quarterback, looking for a senior receiver.
I've been impressed with Walcott. He can really thread throw it on a thread there. He's doing a good job of trying to hit his wide receivers. If they can make some of these catches, this offense would be on the board already.
Yeah, of course, he had 194 passing yards last week against a good football team in Sheridan, along with 2 passing touchdowns. Walcott to the end zone, in and out of Vincent's hands again. So back-to-back throws, looking for his star wide receiver in Ben Vincent, and cannot connect for a touchdown. It is 3rd and 10 now.
I mean, if you're Walcott, if you're some of these wide receivers for the Rams, you can't ask for better balls. I mean, he's putting it right on there. They just got to hold on to it.
3rd and long from the Senator 11-yard line. Great position to make plays. They just have to convert. Walcott going wide, looking for Omen. And well, that was a good pickup on third down, but will not be nearly enough for the first down. An interesting play call.
That could have. I like the play call. You know, you catch the defense thinking pass into the end zone, and really you're throwing a little screen. The Senators team has been running a lot of man, though, and with man coverage, they can shut that down pretty quickly, especially when you have some defensive linemen who are aware of what's going on around them. Not surprised to see them going for it here on fourth down, though.
Offensive quarter Josh Bradley for the Rams has been very aggressive in his play calls so far this evening. Play clock at 5.
They're going to call a timeout.
Yep. They weren't able to get the Senators offside, so they're going to take a second to talk this thing over. But if you're the Senators, there have been some good shots in the end zone for the Rams. What do you have to do as the secondary to, well, prevent that from happening?
I think, number one, they need to try to get some pressure on Walcott, because if you give him all day to throw back there, as we've seen, he can hit his receivers. Luckily for the Senators, there's been a lot of drop balls on the Rams side, so if they can figure out a way to dial up some pressure against Walcott, force him to make some bad decisions, I think that's going to work out for the Senators' favor, and it's going to help the defensive backs cover the Rams' receivers a lot better.
And actually, they're going to go out and kick a field goal here. So the Rams on fourth down finally decide to go for 3 instead of 6. It'll be Luke Viscardis on for the field goal attempt. Kick is up and no good, off to the right. So the Rams remain scoreless, and the Senators continue to have a 7-0 lead with 9:16 left in the first half.
That's a big win right there for this Senators defense. You know, the Rams, it's looking like they're driving down the field. They're going to get into the end zone, and you get a good stop, and they miss a field goal. That's some huge momentum on the Senators sideline right now.
So the Senators will set up shop around the 20-yard line. Tyson Braden and company looking to get in rhythm and capitalize and repeat the offensive success they had last time down the field with Nick Abrams on the receiving end of a touchdown. Handoff to Thomas. Thomas bursts of speed, doesn't get a whole lot after that, maybe about 5 yards on the play for the senior Jordan Thomas.
You know, if you're Coach Escola, that's all you can ask for. If you're averaging getting 5 yards a chunk like that, toting the rock, keep doing it. Keep hitting them until they can stop you.
And noticing more of this game, seeing 2 halfbacks on the field. That's Abrams and Thomas in the backfield with Braden. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Handoff to Thomas. Thomas trying to find some room and only gets a couple of yards on the carry. So the Rams have done a nice job covering up the holes for the running game.
There wasn't really a lot going for him on that play specifically. Good job by Thomas to realize that and just try to cut it up and get whatever yardage he could. And he got it. He got about 3 yards on that play, so he turned it into a decent gain.
3rd and 2 from the 28-yard line. Interesting. Nick Tyler coming in, who also plays some halfback, but coming in more in a fullback or tight end formation for the Senators. Thomas, the lone back in the backfield. Handoff to Thomas.
That's a first
down. That is going to be a Senator first down. A big pickup after that by Jordan Thomas. A Ram loses a helmet. That was Elijah Witherspoon, who's going to leave the field briefly for the Rams. And do want to give a quick update for the Bryant game, as reported by the Natural State Sports Network on Twitter. 11:17 left in the first half. It is 10-7 Bryant over Parkview. Braden looking deep, and that's going to be a pass incompletion.
Yep,
the flag, 2 flags on the field.
Yeah.
He was looking for Hayes, Tatum Hayes, for a big first down pickup. And he had him, but the defensive back, probably a good thing, he decided to commit the penalty instead of the big pickup of yards.
Well, to me, it didn't really look like he played the ball right there, more like played the receiver. And in that situation, especially when your back is to the official and it looks kind of suspicious on that side, they're going to throw the flag every time.
I know you never want to get a penalty if you're on defense, or it doesn't matter what position you're playing. You never want to commit a penalty, but do you think that even though they give up 15 yards, that was probably the right decision because they would have probably given up 20 or more on that reception?
That's not a bad thought. That's something to consider. It's hard. I doubt he was thinking about that specifically on that play, but you might. I think it might have worked out in their favor.
Maybe a coach wouldn't want to hear that reasoning. He's probably still going to get chewed out in practice, but it helps the Senators. Hand off to Thomas. He's not going to get much, if at all, and he'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Abrams coming back into the ball game.
And Thomas will still, well, I say still be in. He's coming off the field.
The Senators been running it a lot on first down, so sometimes you got to keep them on their feet, as they were definitely ready for that run up the middle.
Second and long from the 47-yard line. 6:56 left to play in the first half. Receiver in motion, that's Hayes. Braden stepping back to pass. Pressure coming. He's got his man open. Wide open is Todd. And they're finally going to get him down. Two players for the Rams having to take down the sophomore Jaden Todd.
Nice little pitch and catch right there between Braden and Todd. It's good to see, not Braden, Braden. It's good to see Braden getting some connections working in this ball game. The warmer he gets, I think the better the Senators' offense is going to be.
Well, when you send 6 or 7 to rush the quarterback, someone's going to be open, and Todd, his 5th reception on the 2024 season. Multiple men in motion. Bunched up around the line of scrimmage. Handoff to Abrams. Juking a man. He won't get much. Actually, he'll get a little bit more off the tackle.
Like I said, they've been running it a lot on first down, and this Rams defense is prepared for it. As that's the second time now on first down that they've gotten either a tackle for loss or a tackle for no gain.
Parker Chun, the star defensive end, with an offer from Hendrix College on the stop. But really, this Ram defensive line, outside of those last few carries by Jordan Thomas, they've done a nice job stopping the run for Robinson. Braden, pressure coming, looking for a man open. It's Todd again, down at the 8 or 9 yard line. Another big pickup, throwing from Tyson Braden, connecting to Jaden Todd. Now it's 1st and goal for the Senators.
That's another 20-yard, easy 20-yard pickup for this Senators offense. I think they ran the exact same play that they did earlier. So good job by Braden to hit his man and get a good game for the Senators offense.
Well, they know pressure is coming, so they're taking advantage. And off to Abrams. Abrams tracked down again. So the run game, especially with Nick Abrams in the backfield, has been swallowed up, it seems like, every time down the field. It's because they're sending so much pressure, not just to the quarterback, but to the wide receiver. So at halftime, both bands will be on the field to perform. We'll make sure we have our mics on just for that because, as Coach Escola said in the pregame show, both of these bands are phenomenal.
So this Rams defense is thinking run every single time on first down. So I'd like to see some quick passes or some screen plays on first down.
Braden, end zone, touchdown!
They just can't stop it.
Jaden Todd on for the touchdown reception, his second of the season. His first touchdown of his varsity career with Robinson.
That's a great job right there by Todd. That was that same route that he hit him on, and that was three catches right there in a row on that drive for Todd, and that put him over the 50-yard mark and it gives him a touchdown.
And Tate on the extra point, it is up and it is good. So the Senators with the 14-0 lead off the First Community Bank extra point. Get ahead on your finances with First Community Bank with one of their personal or business checking options. First Community Bank, where the Senator community comes first. But 3 straight completions to Jaden Todd on that drive, pretty much on most of the same sort of plays, it seemed like.
Jaden Todd, more like Sweeney Todd. Don't know if you've ever seen that play as he's slicing through that secondary for the Rams. Great job. Just great connection between those two on that drive. And I'm excited to see what I'm excited by what I just saw from Braden right there. You know, he's passed the ball well so far this season, but we haven't really seen a breakout game from him. This game looks like it might be one of those types of games, as he already has 2 touchdown passes so far in this ball game.
He had 2 entering this game, and it seems like it's pretty clear he is shaking off that first quarter interception. And look, we were talking about it at some point during the season. The Senators have a lot of wide receivers, but who is going to be their go-to guy? It could very well be Jaden Todd. And here's the return by the Rams. Another block in the back. And it won't matter from here, but it was a great special teams work by the Senators, and it looked like there was number 10, Luke Rubleski, on the block in the back against one of the Senators.
So that's going to put them back at about the 6-yard line. That's going to be a tough sledding for this Rams offense, as they've got a long way to go if they want to reach pay dirt.
Yeah, they sure do, and they are still scoreless in this game. If they want to make, probably going to see a lot of runs for Omen, as they do have 4:04 left on the clock, so quite a bit of time to try to make a play at the end of the first half. But they are marked right. It looks more like the 6.5 yard line.
They moved them about halfway towards the goal line, as they weren't at the past the 15-yard line, so it was halfway to the goal.
And what did I say? Handoff to Omen. He's going to get a fair chunk of yards on the play, probably about 4 or 5.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what this Rams offense has been doing with Omen. It's just letting that guy eat, because he's picking up 4 or 5 at least each time he touches the ball. So that's always satisfying to know that you can rely on that run game like that if you're the Rams coach.
2nd and 5 from the 11. 3:32 left to play in the first half. Handoff again to Omen, following his blockers, and it was a good stop on 2nd down by the Senators. He'll probably get about 2 yards on the play. Looks like it'll be 3rd and 3 from the 14.
3rd and about 3.5, I'd probably say. So let's see if the Senators dial up some pressure here and try to put a stop to this run game, because I wouldn't be surprised if they run it again, as their receivers haven't really been able to hold on to the football, so you might want to just leave it in the hands of your back.
3rd and 3 from the 14. Perhaps the biggest 3rd down of the game for Lakeside.
Oh, I think he's going to pass it.
Walcott looking deep, looking for his man. Oh, almost picked off by Michael Hayes. A perfect read on the route. Followed the quarterback's eyes and made a big play. Michael Hayes, the UCA commit, with another pass deflection on the year.
Man, when this Senators defense knows that you're about to throw the ball, because I think they were guessing pass there, you're not gonna be able to get the ball into the hands of the receivers, because they have too many athletes in that secondary. They are going to be all over that wide receiver, and right there, they almost made him pay big time with an interception. That would have been a dagger right there, as the Senators lead 14-0 with 2:30 left to go in this first half of play. That would have been a dagger for that Rams sideline.
Now Britton Diaz set to punt it away for Lakeside. A decent punt there. They're going to let it drop. And the bounce rolls all the way to the 38-yard line of the Senators. So 2:28 left in the first half. That's quite a bit of time for the Senators, especially knowing the progress they've been able to make with their deep passes. Do you think Escola is going to be aggressive and try to get one more score before halftime?
Absolutely. I don't think you – if you choose not to be aggressive, I wouldn't understand it. You got 2:30 left to go. This is a very big ball game. A great team on the other side of the field. You've got the lead. Take advantage of it. But you want to try to put the nail in the coffin early. I'm not saying that would be the nail in the coffin, but you want to try to keep that momentum on your sideline, especially going into half. And you get the ball after halftime. This could be a big score for the Senators if they get in the end zone.
Hand off to Deuce Williams. What a hurdle by Williams. Down about the 37. Deuce Williams, first carry of the game, really the third string running back, making plays for the Senator offense.
That's a nice little 22-yard pickup right there for Williams. 22, deuce, that's what he does.
Well, it is hard not to talk about Deuce Williams. Plays both sides of the football, also plays on special teams as a return man, but he does a little bit of everything. He was listed as a linebacker coming into the season, also plays defensive back, primarily safety. He's already had a couple of interceptions on the season, but like I said, he also plays maybe a little bit of linebacker. He was able to come up with a big touchdown return last week against Jonesboro to strike first in that non-conference game in enemy territory. He's already had a few first down runs so far this season, a couple catches, and now a big run on first down.
I mean, that's exactly how you wanted this drive to start. Big run right there for Deuce Williams, and you've got them rearing back right now because they're not sure what to expect. That was a nice little it was like a little fake option play where Braden made the correct decision to hand that ball off, and Williams has had a lot of blockers in front of him, broke a couple tackles, and he broke it off for a big gain.
Deuce Williams still in the backfield for the Senators, probably a good choice. Two receivers setting up to the right of Braden, one to the left.
Pistol formation for the Senators with an up back.
Keep an eye on Jaden Todd all the way on the right side, the far right. It's going to be a handoff to Williams. Williams, big burst on first down. Stiff farms a man down about the 12-yard line. Another huge play for, you guessed it, Kevin Deuce Williams. What a play for the Senators.
That's a 27-yard pickup right there for the Senators offense. I'm not sure if you're aware, but on their last drive, they had three plus plays for 20 plus yards, and now they're doing the same thing here on this drive.
Well, Deuce is going to take a breather, and Nick Abrams is going to come into the ball game. He's been used a lot as their goal line back, and now they're in the red zone. Here's Abrams. Abrams not going to get a lot. The hole closed quickly, and it looks like maybe Nick Tyler, but I thought he was hurt. I think he was trying to fix something with his helmet.
So if you're Coach Escola here, you don't mind a few of those seconds kind of dripping off the clock, as the closer you can get it to zero, the better, right before you try to punch it into the end zone.
2nd and 8. Well, 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. Clock ticking down from 132. Braden, that ball is tipped.
That could have been dangerous right there for the Senators.
He was looking for Abrams. It was a fake handoff to Thomas, but can't get it to his running back, who already has one reception for a touchdown today. Actually has 2 receptions, but one of them for a touchdown. So now it is 3rd and goal from the 8.
3rd and goal. I bet Coach Escola would probably kick a field goal here, but so I'd probably say you got to try to get in the end zone right here.
So you don't think that go for 6 no matter what?
I mean, I would, but I think I'm pretty aggressive when it comes to play calling like that, especially after a play with a play like that, you definitely need to kick the field goal with 1:20 left to go in this first half. Let that clock bleed out and just put an extra 3 on the board.
Every time that they look for Nick Abrams, they have bottled that play up, taking him back for about 7 yards on the play. So 4th and goal from the 15-yard line. The Senator offense still on the field. Let's see what they go with here. They might just try to draw the Rams offside. The clock ticking down. The play clock ticking down from 10. And I don't think anything's going to happen here. Probably going to take a timeout. Yep. So Coach Escola going to take his first timeout of the game with 30 seconds remaining in the first half. And it looks like William Tate is heading out onto the field to kick the field goal. So that, as we are about to set up for, will be a First Community Bank field goal attempt. Get ahead of your finances with First Community Bank. Visit them online at www.firstcommunitybank.net.
So if you're Coach Escola, make or miss this field goal no matter what, when you're going into halftime, what you're telling your team, listen, there have been a lot bigger comebacks in the state of Arkansas with high school football. Every single week it happens. So this game is not over by any stretch of the imagination. You need to go into halftime, try to work on any kind of mistakes that you might have made in the first half, and then come out with that same aggressive attitude that you had in this first half.
Tate on for the First Community Bank field goal attempt. It is up, and it is good.
Nice job by Tate. You know, that's always comforting for a head coach when you know you can send out a guy and get a good 3 points on the board. Always good to know and feel confidence in your kicker like that.
And there go the fireworks on the field goal attempt. So the Senators failed to get 6, but they settle for 3. So 17-0 with 26 seconds remaining in the first half. Imagine the Rams will either just run out the clock to end the half or take a knee once they receive the kickoff from William Tate.
I don't know. You're not getting the ball after halftime. I'd probably try to throw it deep here. You know, what do you have to lose? I think you've almost connected on a couple deep balls so far here tonight. Why not try to do it again?
Actually, they do get the ball at the half. Lakeside started.
Lakeside started with the ball, so the
Yeah.
Senators get the ball at the start of the second half.
Yes. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, no, I was
Okay.
saying the Rams don't get the ball, so might as well try to
gotcha.
go get some points on the board before the halftime.
Well, that will help them. William Tate kicks it out of bounds. So that will help the Rams out a lot. Let's see what the official markage is. It will be set up about at the 35-yard line. So 26 seconds still on the clock in the first half, and you may be right. They may try to get as much as they can out of this play. Of course, I don't think they're very confident in their kicker. So if they want anything, they want to get 6 points. First and 10 from the 35. 2 receivers either side. A man in the backfield with Walcott. Walcott looking to pass. He's got Omen. And they got him down about the 39-yard line. A good pickup of about 4 yards on the reception. Will be the second timeout taken for the Rams. 1 remaining with 16 seconds left to play as they trail 17-0.
So if you're Coach Rockwell for the Rams, you call that timeout. I think maybe you want to try to get a medium pass off right here. Try to gain about 15, 20 yards, something like that. And if you can connect on that, that puts you in a way better position to try to launch one towards the end zone. They have one timeout remaining, so they definitely need to make this one count and try to connect on a decent pass here.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm really excited to hear from the Rams and the Senators, their bands. Coach Escola really hyped them up. So, and I was in the band in high school. I played trumpet at North Little Rock High School. Was I good? I was okay. But it also means I have a great appreciation for the band. I really want to hear some good music. Walcott looking to pass, rolling right, trying to find somebody, and overthrows Vincent on the comeback route.
Chris the Trumpeter.
Trumpeter, yeah.
Trumpeter.
I was pretty good. I just didn't really like to practice.
Hey.
I could have been better.
You know, practice is not for the faint of heart. I had a sister who practiced the trombone, and me personally, it's kind of hard to listen to after a long day of school, coming home and listening to that trombone playing throughout the house.
3rd and 6 from the 39. Handoff to Omen, following his blocker. Will not get the first down. He will be marked down maybe 2 yards short, and the clock will just go ahead and drain. Well, I say that. And I think the Rams may have called their final timeout.
Final timeout, 1 second left, so they get to try to launch it deep here and try to make some magic happen right here before halftime.
Well, they have. Actually, that was not the Rams that called the timeout. That was the Senators that called the timeout.
Okay.
So the Senators have 1 timeout remaining, but maybe expect Hail Mary. Looks like the Senators are going to send, at the very least, 2 men back deep. Let's see what formation the Rams decide to go with. And looks like they're just going to take the knee here. And, yep, that's exactly what will happen. So that will do it for the first half of play. The Joe T. Robinson Senators lead early, 17-0 in their first home conference game of the season. The Rams, they got a lot of work to do, coming down 17-0.
Make sure you stay tuned at halftime to see both of these bands come out on the field and show their stuff.
Well, we're going to take a break here, but stay tuned for the band and for the second half performance here on the Robinson Sports Network.
House, it's a home, and it's part of the neighborhood, and of course part of the community, and you want to build stuff that they'll take pride in.
Well, that's where they're making their memories.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where they're raising their families.
Without the bank getting us to that next step, we can't do it.
It's nice to be able to call someone at the bank and say, hey, you've worked with us for all these years. This is what we're thinking about doing. Can we pull the trigger on this today? Oh my stars, it is just so much easier to bank with First Community.
Check priorities, I'm doing that first. Check's big and I'm sure that hurts, but it's checkmate. We ain't selling short, know the work. Ain't nowhere to hide. You ain't gotta see me come and keep me on your mind, cause I be on the way. Yeah. You know I be on the way. Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I
And now coming to the field, your Robinson cheerleader. Let's hear it for your Robinson cheerleader. And now welcome to the field, the band from Lakeside High School.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Lakeside School District is proud to present the Lakeside High School Marching Band. This year's show is titled Beautiful. Musical selections include Simple Gifts. That's what makes you beautiful. Just the way you are, and shut up and dance. Featured soloists this evening will be Carmen McCraney, Camaray Porter, Alexander Macarena Rios, Mason Natone, Brian Gopal, Jack Turner, Ryan Slay, and Katie Robinson. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Madison Kingsmill, David Orm, and Cadence Clark. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime entertainment, the Show Band of Lakeside.
When the game on the line, you can't fold and you can't bend. Y'all be playing it safe and I be going for the win. Remember back when they was doubting on the kid. Now they tuned in cause my game too legit. Stayed down, remain humble, and I made it work. Crazy how I came out so clean from the dirt. We was using candles on the nights the lights ain't work. We ain't never going back to that and that I merch. Turn your back on me, the worst mistake you ever make. Keep my grass cut, gotta watch out for the snakes. If it's on my plate, best believe it's getting 8. I'm ballin' like I'm Kobe 33 before the 8. I just want the rings and the medals and the trophies. I want the Kardashians and Jenner to know me. I wanna take a Uber to the hills to visit Chloe. I want the floor seats cause I'm tired of the
And welcome back to the second half of this conference battle between the Joe T. Robinson Senators and the Hot Springs Lakeside Rams. We are live here from Charlie George Stadium here on Joe T. Robinson High School's campus. And you are tuned in to the Robinson Sports Network presented by Natural State Sports. It has been a great night for the Senators, leading 17-0 as we enter into the beginning of the second half. Jake, just talk about that great offensive production from the Senators in the first half.
You know, I was actually pretty surprised. We've seen them be pretty run-heavy so far this season. I know other than the PA game, they did try to throw the ball around, didn't really get any connections going. But last week we saw them really rely on the run. It was working well for them. In this ball game, we've seen Braden slinging the ball around, really taking a shining to his running backs, and he's thrown 3 balls to Todd. So as long as it's working, keep on slinging it. I'm really excited to see Braden come out here. Already has 2 touchdown passes on the night. So let's just let him keep throwing this football.
Yeah, 1 touchdown pass came in the first quarter to Nick Abrams, his first touchdown reception on the season. The second one came to Jaden Todd, his first of the season as well. An interesting thing with him, those are 3 straight passes on that drive in the second quarter to set up Todd. And I mean 3 straight completions from Braden to Todd in that second quarter. So I will be very interested in seeing if he is able to go right back to Todd in the second half.
Absolutely. Braden's around 90 yards through the air so far and 2 touchdowns. This could be his breakout game for the season, at least from our point of view. We haven't really seen a huge game through the air for the Senators, so it's good to see him going. And going to the defense, I know they kind of struggled stopping the run, but if you look at the scoreboard, it's 17-0, so they couldn't have been doing too bad of a job. They've got 1 turnover with an interception by Tank Reese. That was on the first drive for the Rams at the beginning of the ball game. So I'm sure Coach Escola is going to have had a discussion at halftime inside the locker room, talking with his defense about how they need to slow down Omen, as he's been kind of getting 5 yards a play every single time. The Senators are going to have to figure out a way to stop that. And what I'd really like to see is they get the ball to start this second half, go down, get some more points on the board, and really stretch your lead out to try to put this one away early, because I have a feeling that the Rams are going to come out with some fight in them and really try to start moving the rock and get in the end zone.
Yeah, the Senators should be the number one concern is, can they get that run started? Can they get it involved? Because that makes passing that much easier. But for the Rams, they're probably, my guess is they're still going to be throwing the football. And they've had success. The only problem is they've had so many drops. Wally Walcott, the quarterback for the Rams, has been really accurate so far today, considering he's a first-time starter.
He's been putting the ball in great positions to be caught. They just can't grab hold of it.
Even trying to get his star wide receiver Ben Vincent involved. He's had a couple of drops in the end zone. And that was another thing. At the end of one of their last drives in the second quarter, they were in the Senators' territory. They were in the red zone. They were 11 yards away from a touchdown, and they had 2 end zone drops they had to settle for a field goal, which was missed. So there have been a lot of opportunities for the Rams, but they have yet to capitalize on a single one.
For sure. I want to throw it back. We were talking about the run game for the Senators. I know they didn't really they weren't doing too well in the run game. We had Abrams get a few good plays going under the run game, but it started to slow down, and then Deuce Williams comes in the backfield and breaks 2 20-plus yard runs off for the Senators. So as you can see them on the sideline, they are getting hype right now, and it's getting me hype. I'm ready to get this football game started again. Let's go. Let's see some football.
Hey, there is nothing like Friday night light football, especially some Senator football as well. You have to love it.
Hey, and let's give an update real fast on that Bryant Hornet and Parkview game, as Bryant leads at 17-10 at halftime. That's a close ball game. It looked like the Hornets were going to try to run away with it. They were leading 17-7 with about 3 minutes before halftime, so it looks like Parkview got some more points on the board. I wouldn't be surprised if that one comes down to the wire.
Now, Little Rock Parkview, they are a part of the Natural State Sports Network, and now Bryant High School is not, but I know you're an alum of Bryant High School. Are you kind of like, well, trying to pick sides? Oh, I'm an alum of one school, but you don't technically work for Parkview, but they are within our organization. Is trying to pick sides, or?
Well, for me personally, I'll root for Bryant against the. Let's see if he gets anything out of this real fast. Ooh,
it is Deuce Williams. Deuce Williams, big return. Big return. Deuce Williams. And brought down about the 32-yard line on the kick return to open up this second half.
Deuce Williams with a huge return right there, man. I love when he touches the ball. Anytime he touches the ball, it just seems like something special happens. He just got a huge gain. And Coach Escola, like we said, right out of halftime, now you're in great field position. You're knocking on the door of the end zone already to start this ball game. Gosh, what an exciting run right there by Deuce Williams. Shotgun, hands it off to Thomas, up the middle. Thomas got some room, and he's going to get about 6 yards on that carry. Nice little scamper from Thomas to really to work his way upfield in some tight running lanes.
We're going to call that 2nd and 2 from the 23-yard line. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. Thomas in the backfield with Nick Tyler in at tight end. Hand off to Thomas again, this time swallowed up by the Rams defense. Well, it is now 3rd and 2 from the 23-yard line. This has been it was a good start of the drive with a great return by Deuce Williams and a solid first down run by Jordan Thomas. What do the Senators have to do to set up good here on 3rd down?
I think the Senators are in a very good position here. Just hand the rock off, get it to Abrams. Your big back, and that's what they try to do. Unfortunately, the Rams are all over it, and they get a tackle for loss, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, Abrams has not been able to get any sort of separation today at all. They have accounted for him so far today.
So let's see what Coach Escola decides to do here. It looks like the offense is still on the field. So it looks like they're going to try to go for it here.
It is 4th and 4 from the Ram 25-yard line.
I think this is a good decision by Coach Escola.
Hayes in motion. And we're going to have a stoppage in play. He was looking for Todd. There's a flag, and it will be on the offense.
Yeah, false start. See if that changes the mind of Coach Escola. I mean, you're on the right side of the 50 to be going for it. So, and you have the lead. I say go for it again. Run it back, Coach Escola.
Well, another PC SSD score, Maumelle High School leads Valonia High School 13-0 at the half.
Last year they lost to Valonia by a pretty big margin, so good to see the Hornets come out so far with the lead and playing well.
4th and 9. Braden back to pass, going deep. He's got his man. Oh, swatted away. Great coverage by Landon Rea for the Rams. He was looking for, you guessed it, Jaden Todd on the route. It was either that or he's looking for Malachi Muhammad.
It was Malachi Muhammad.
It was Muhammad, who's yet to record a catch on the season. That would have been a big play for the senior.
You know, they get the penalty right there, and it puts them in a really tough position. I think if they wouldn't have got that penalty, I think they would have thrown the ball a little bit shorter, but they were just aiming for the end zone right there. That was going to be a tough completion to make for Braden.
Omen on the carry, and he gets maybe a yard, but that was a great job by the Senators to bottle up that play. I think they know what the Rams are going to do on every first down. They're going to hand it off to Grady Omen.
No, that's what you want to see from the Senator defense. You know, they were struggling stopping the run in the first half, especially against Omen's a tough runner. You can see it every single time he gets a hit. He's going to get a couple more yards because he's smacking into bodies. So the Senator defense has just got to play tough against the run and try to slow it down as much as they can.
Man in motion for the Rams. Walcott going deep. He's got a man open. What a catch. What a catch by Ryan Ballard, the tall, athletic senior receiver for the Rams. What a play. Finally, they get a big play to connect for him.
You know, it was bound to happen. You can't expect them to miss every single one of those like they did in the first half. So
Ballard, big play receiver, averages 25 yards a catch. That's his 5th catch on the season, has 1 touchdown as well. He also wrestles and sprints for the track team and reportedly has 4.4 speed as that play
he
will
looked
go.
4.4 speed.
He sure did. For a guy that's 6'1", he does not look like he's 6'1". He's got to be taller than that. Yeah, it was Doucette on the tackle for the Senators. Only about a yard on the play for Lakeside. Four-man front for the Senators. Harper and Patterson in the middle. Doucette and Campos on the edge. Diaz in the backfield for the Rams.
Lots of motion in the backfield for the Rams.
Handoff to Diaz, and he's going to go backwards. What a play. That was Jaden Todd.
Jaden Todd making plays on both sides of the field, flying in there with a nice tackle for loss. But a late flag comes flying. I don't know what this one's going to be for.
Let's see what the head official has to say. He's going to chat with Coach Escola first. Do you think it will be on Robinson?
It's going to be. I'm thinking it's going to be on the Rams. If the white hat is talking to Escola, I think he might be trying to make a decision on whether he wants to accept it or not, I guess.
Oh, it's going to be on Robinson.
I didn't really see anything after the. I didn't really see anything after the play. So
it could always have been on something that was said. Not sure. Not going to speculate. But it will be an easy first down for the Rams. So 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line for Hot Springs Lakeside. They have been moving really well on this drive thanks to the big completion between Walcott and Ballard. Omen cuts to the other side and barrels through some tackles.
It was Smith.
It took both Smith and Hayes, who are both very good tacklers despite being defensive backs, to take him down. He did pick up, they're going to say he got 4 yards on the play.
It should have been 2, but he just keeps those feet moving. He's one of the tougher runners I've seen so far this year. Him and Abrams both can really run the football and get tough yards like that.
Well, there is a reason why Oman was the Arkansas Democrat Player of the Week last week in his performance, his 4-touchdown performance against Sheridan. Another solid run for Oman.
I think that's close to a first down.
It is very close.
I thought he just got a couple yards, but he keeps those feet moving. That's impressive.
It will be 3rd and 1 from the 5.5 yard line. So the Rams in perfect position to get their first score of the game. And finally wipe that 0 off the scoreboard. Oman, another carry. That is definitely going to be a first down for the Rams. Let's see where they mark him. Maybe about the 3 or about the 3 yard line. Let's call it the 3. So it is 1st and goal from the 3.
I'd love to see the Senators try to bow their necks here and try to get a stop here close to the goal line. Nothing gets your sideline more pumped than a goal line stop.
.525 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Handoff to Oman. What did you guess? And Oman in the end zone for the first score of the game for Hot Springs Lakeside.
Like I said at halftime, they're gonna the Rams we're gonna come out here with some tenacity and try because they got hit in the mouth in the first half, and I think they realized. I think the players and the coaches understood that if it wasn't for a couple of dropped passes and a few little bitty mistakes there, they would be right in this ball game. So they came out here flying down the field, and Oman was ready to get was not going to stop till he reached the end zone, and he finally gets in. So just like that, it's a ball game again.
Lakeside on to kick the extra point. It is Luke Viscardis, the senior, set to kick it here. Viscardis, extra point is good. So the first kick of the game made for the Rams. So 17-7 is your score with 5:18 left in the 3rd quarter. And that was a First Security Bank extra point, courtesy of the Hot Springs Lakeside Rams.
You know, going back to what you were talking about me being a Bryant alumni, am I rooting for Bryant against Parkview tonight? To be honest with you, I'm rooting for Bryant against rivals, you know, like Conway and Benton, or some of those big rivalries. But other than that, you know, I don't really have an affinity towards Bryant, especially, you know, the coaching staff that was there when I played football is no longer there. This is a totally new coaching staff. If I knew some of those coaches out there, it'd be a different story. But it's kind of different. It's kind of indifferent for me now. But would love watching that the Hornets beat up on Conway and Benton every year.
When you say Benton as a rivalry, I know the Salt Bowl was one of the biggest games every year, but is it really a rivalry when it's like only ever been Bryant the last 2 decades winning?
I think. Let's see. It's
going to go out of bounds. So that will set the Senators up at the 35-yard line.
I think it's not as much of a rivalry in the game sense as it's more. It's just that feeling of discontent between both teams. The players, you know, it's just that feeling, you know. While you're in school, you can feel it. It's palpable, the discontent that each team has for each other. Both teams want to go out there and win. The towns want to see them win. So that's what makes it a rivalry. I know it's not a very competitive game every single year, or at least hasn't been in the past few years. So, but the Conway game, that's usually a pretty competitive game every year.
So the Senators set up at the 35-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Man in motion, that's Hayes. Cuts back. Hand off to Abrams. Abrams,
big hole,
finally,
big hole.
a big run for the senior Abrams, finally brought down. And that has to feel so good for Nick Abrams after being tackled in the backfield time and time again.
Man, what a huge run. He finally breaks it open on a long run. He's been looking for it all game long. They finally get it. You know, they got down to around this point on their last drive and couldn't get any points out of it. So they need some points right here, especially with that Rams offense moving like it is.
Another handoff to Abrams. Another solid pickup for Nick Abrams. Gets about a 5-yard gain on 1st and 10. Let's see where they officially mark him. He will be marked down at the 31-yard line of the Rams, and there's an injured Ram on the field. It's number 56, Miles Macon.
You know, if you're a coach around the state or, you know, an enjoyer of football, you've just got to be very envious of Coach Escola. He's got a stable of backs back there, whether it's Cunningham, Thomas, Abrams, Williams. He's got a stable back there that can really get it done, and so he just can give it to the hot hand. Anybody who's moving the ball, keep it in that guy's hand, let him until he runs out of juice, then throw the next guy in there. It just works out well for the Senators offense, and I think it's what gives this offense some legs is having those change of paces, because each one of these backs has their own unique running style and is able to take advantage of what the offensive line gives them.
And we haven't even seen guys like Darnell Clark or Aiden Scott this year. Scott was a solid rusher on the junior varsity team last year, and Darnell Clark has been listed as a running back for a little while now. He's a starter on the defensive line, so that's really where his forte is, but he's a power back that has a lot of, well, like I said, power behind him. And looks like Macon will be helped up off the field, plays both offensive and defensive line for the Rams.
You know, these young athletes, they work all summer long to try to go all out each and every Friday night of the fall. You hate to see any kind of injury that would limit them from playing, especially after all that hard work they put in. You know, I hate to see injuries on either side, an opponent, the Senators, whoever it is. We root for the safety of all players, especially here at the Robinson Sports Network. We really hate to see anything like that happen. So hopefully he might maybe it's just a stinger and he can come back into this ball game.
It will be 2nd and 5 from the 31-yard line. 4:39 left to play in the third quarter. The Senators lead by 10. 17-7 is your score. Abrams in the backfield. He's had some really nice runs.
I'd like to see Braden try to float one up here.
Yep. No safety help, and they will hand it off to Abrams. And they're going to get him way back. Of course, forward progress will have him picking up about a yard on the play.
So 3rd and 5 now for the Senators. This is going to be a big third down. You know, I don't think Coach Escola wants to give the ball back to the Rams offense, especially the how they moved the ball on their last drive.
Well, last time down the field, the Senators could not convert in the end zone. Let's see if they're able to here. They might try to draw the Rams offsides. Looks like they're actually going to set up a play here. Braden going deep. Oh, and in and out of the defensive back's hands. It was a great read on the route by Quindarius Jackson, the sophomore receiver and defensive back. Braden was looking for, you guessed it, Jaden Todd on the route.
Looks like they're probably going to go for it again. You know, a punt's not going to do it for you here, and if he doesn't feel confident with this, this would be a really long field goal, especially at this level. So if he doesn't feel confident, you need to just go ahead and go for it. It's 3rd and 5. They can definitely pick this up here.
Yeah, William Tate is a really solid kicker, but I think this is slightly out of his range. Braden looking, and off target to his receiver. He was looking for Charles Petty on the route on the left sideline. Incomplete. Turnover on downs for the second time this quarter for the Senators. And the Rams set up shop at the 31-yard line.
You know, we in the past few games we've seen him and Petty struggle to make that connection on that exact route. They can't really seem to get their timing down and the accuracy of where they want to put the football. So I'd like to try see them work on that because Charles Petty is one of their more talented wide receivers. The more you can get him active in the ball game, the better.
Though he's just a sophomore, he already has 6 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown on the season. There is a flag on the field.
That's going to be a face mask on the Senators. Want to give a big shout out and say thank you, everybody, for joining in on our broadcast. Whether you're a Rams fan or a Senator fan, we really appreciate you tuning in to the Robinson Sports Network. We would love for you to go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, as we appreciate it here at the broadcast, because we love highlighting young student athletes all over the state of Arkansas, especially here with the Joe T. Robinson Senators and any opponent that they get to face. And make sure you stick with us because we will be doing basketball and baseball. And if you tune in early next week, you'll get to see our one-on-one with Coach Escola and our highlighted player of the week.
1st and 10 from the 48. Another flag on the field. And Omen's going to get about a couple of yards on the carry. Let's see what the call is. Yeah, it was an illegal shift on the offense. So that will back up the Rams a little bit. Back them up 5 yards to be exact. So it will be 1st and 15 from the 43-yard line.
So this second half is flying by as we're already under the 2:30 mark for this third quarter of play.
Handoff again to Omen. He'll get about 2 yards on the carry on 1st and 15.
You know, that penalty is exactly what this Senators defense needed. They're really struggling to stop them for a short gain on 1st down, and if they every time they don't stop them for a short gain, Omen is able to pick up 3-4 yards a carry every single time, and that eventually gets them a 1st down. Now they have them in a 2nd long situation, which is very, very good for the Senator defense to try to stop them a couple times and get them to a 4th down.
Look at a run again with Diaz. Actually, they're going pass. I was wrong. Well, he's going to keep it himself. Walcott very close to a 1st down, just short.
You know, that was a good decision by Walcott. You do the play action, you look to your right, and there's not a single defender on that side of the field. So you just take off. You know, that was a very good decision, especially because from what I could see, their receivers were all covered up by the Senator DBs.
9-yard run by Walcott. Only the 2nd rushing attempt by the junior quarterback on the year. Had an 11-yard rush earlier this season.
Still a 3rd down. I thought he got the 1st.
It's 3rd and 3 from the 45. And
Omen's not in the ball game, so that usually means pass.
Yep, it is Diaz in at running back for the Rams. And it will be a quick pass outside, and it will be just enough for a 1st down. Walcott connecting with his wide receiver, Drew Morgan, on the reception.
That was a good job by Deuce Williams. He tried his best to track him down and stop him from getting the 1st, but the play call was well conceived, and it was going to be hard for him to do that.
It was a good call by offensive coordinator Josh Bradley for Lakeside. To receivers to the left, one to the right. Omen still not in the ball game for the Rams. It is still Diaz in at running back. Diaz gets the handoff. Diaz, a solid gain, maybe about 4 yards on the carry for Britton Diaz. A clock counting down from 41. Deuce Williams in on the tackle.
So we're winding down this third quarter now as we're right at 20 seconds left. Oh, he's finally back. Omen's finally back in the ball game, so I'm going to guess run here.
Nope. It will be a pass, a deep pass. Caught. Touchdown by Lakeside. That was Ryan Ballard coming out as a star wide receiver for the Rams. What a catch. What a connection between him and Walcott. Did not see that coming at all.
They're doing a really good job of mixing up their play calls, and it's getting the Senator defense on their heels, not really sure what to expect. And right there, they make them pay with a huge bomb from Walcott.
Well, this is the first Community Bank extra point attempt by the Rams. And there's going to be a flag on the field. Trying to see what the... It will be a false start on the offense, so it will back up the field goal unit. Field goal as an extra point unit.
Makes things a little bit tougher here to try to get this extra point up and good.
Well, this gives the Rams another shot at the first Community Bank field goal attempt.
I think we saw him miss a field goal earlier in the ball game, did we not?
He did miss a field goal early in the ball game, but he did connect on the extra point attempt. Of course, this is a different yardage mark. Let's see what. Oh, that one is blocked. Blocked. Deuce Williams actually caught it, but dead ball. So wow,
hey, that's a huge miss. That keeps this lead. At 4, which means the Rams can't tie it up with a field goal. That could be very impactful later on in this ball game.
Well, 7 seconds left to play in the third quarter of action. The Joe T. Robinson Senators lead 17-13 off a blocked extra point attempt. Wish we could tell you who blocked that extra point attempt. Let's just go ahead and give the block to everybody on that special teams group for the Senators. Well, Michael Hayes, Deuce Williams, and Jordan Thomas all back to receive.
We've already seen some excitement here on kickoff returns tonight, so let's see. They keep kicking it out of bounds, which honestly might be their better option, because I think the Senators have returned it up to like the 50-yard line twice already.
Well, if you are Vizcarras, you probably do not want to kick that ball to Deuce Williams, because he had that electric return early on in the quarter, which set up the Senators in prime position to score. They did not take advantage of it.
All those guys back there are dangerous. Get Deuce Williams,
and that's
Thomas,
who's going to get
and Hayes, and it's Williams.
Williams bursts of speed. He will be brought down about the 31-yard line, so that's actually pretty good special teams defense there. So Tyson Braden in this offense, let's see if they can finally get a little bit of momentum going at the start of the fourth quarter.
You know, they've been gashing them up the middle with the run, and it's been working for them. But you know, you gotta try to switch some things up. I'd like to see some quick passes out to the side, maybe a couple screen balls, because when they get this run going, this Rams defense just goes all out and just sells out for the run, the Senators offense can really make them pay for it.
So we'll finally have a short stoppage in action here. We're going to take a break as well. Do not go anywhere. The fourth quarter of the Senators versus the Rams is coming up here on the Robinson Sports Network, presented by Natural State Sports.
Are you ready to embark on an exciting journey of learning and growth? Now is the time to register and become part of the Pulaski County Special School District family. PCSSD provides educational opportunities for families across more than 500 square miles. Discover endless possibilities, friendships, and unforgettable experiences that will shape your child's future. For more information about registration and school choice, visit pcssd.org/register. Join us as we build a brighter tomorrow, one student at a time.
Handoff to Thomas. Excuse me, that's Deuce Williams. And it's going to take 4 or 5 different tacklers to finally bring him down. They don't actually bring him down to the ground. So he'll get a couple of yards on the first down carry. Well, I say a couple, maybe just a singular yard.
So if you're Coach Escola, points right here are crucial. The Rams offense looks like it can't be stopped, and you have the lead. You do not want to relinquish it, or at least you don't want to end this drive without any points. You've got to try to get on the board here.
Braden, he's got time. He's being chased. He's just going to throw that one away. That's probably a good decision by Tyson Braden to just get rid of the football. He really did not have anything going for him. He had the time for a little bit.
Well, he didn't really have anything on that side of the field. He rolled out to the left right there, and there wasn't really any receivers over there to throw to.
It looked like Elijah Witherspoon was who was rushing off the edge. So it is 3rd, and they're calling it 10. But 3rd and long from the 32-yard line. Hayes in motion. Braden back to pass. He's got his man. That ball might have been just tipped a bit, but it's great coverage by Landon Rea. Actually, that pass was more so off the mark. So now the Senators are set to punt this football away. And Braden in the offense heads back to the sideline.
That's not what you wanted if you're Coach Escola. The defense is going to have to come out after a very short break and try to get a stop here. Hopefully the Senators can get a good punt and try to pin them close to their own end zone over there.
William Tate on for the punt. And it's going to bounce, well, I was going to say quite a bit. It didn't have the bounce that he had hoped, so the Rams will set up shop about, it looks like the 37-yard line, their own 37.
You know, last week we saw this punter get it inside the 20 numerous times. It didn't work out. This was his first punt of the ball game here, and it was a decent punt, not too bad, about a 40-yarder. So, good job by him. And now it's up to this Senator defense to come out here and try to put out this fire that is the Rams' momentum.
And the Rams have had both of their touchdowns this game in the third quarter. Of course, they had the missed extra point, preventing them from getting 14 points. And, open receiver downfield. It's Ballard. And breaks Williams' ankles. And Ballard has actually a flag on the field.
It's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct because he was pointing at, I think that was Deuce Williams. Deuce Williams fell down, and he was pointing at Deuce Williams. That's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct, and it's going to pull back that touchdown. That might teach you a lesson. You can't be doing that while you're running the ball.
If that is true, then that is a heartbreaker for the Rams offense. Let's see what the head official has to say. He's going over to Coach Escola to tell him about it. But Ryan Ballard had such an opening. He was able to shake off Deuce Williams on a great move and too much showmanship. The official's still going over it. The Rams are set to go ahead and kick the first Community Bank extra point.
Let's see what they decide to do. Yeah, they're going to.
Yeah, they are going to.
Okay, so that doesn't call back the touchdown. What it does call back, though, is where they're going to have to kick this extra point from is what's about to happen. Which that doesn't really make any sense to me. If you call it before he gets in the end zone, wouldn't that pull back the touchdown? Like, it's not like it happened after the play. It happened during the play. Wait, so...
Yeah, there has not been any official signal as to what is going on. The score on the scoreboard, it remains 17-13. The head official is talking with Coach Rockwell and the Rams coaches right now. Yep, that is the offense heading back out onto the field.
Yep.
So the touchdown.
That's the right call.
Hold on.
I mean,
okay, 15 yards from the spot of the foul. I think Ballard started doing that about the 10-yard line, so they have him at the 25-yard line. So no touchdown by Ryan Ballard. Still a big pickup on that first down play, but now it is 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line.
That's a very bad mistake by that Rams offensive player there. Oh, gosh.
Omen, a lot of space on the left side. Touchdown, Lakeside, but another flag on the play. 2 flags.
Okay, so 2 flags come flying. I think one might be a face mask. The other one, I'm not sure what it is.
But, yeah, this Senator band is very loud. It's kind of hard to hear the official calls. And Coach Escola talked about how they've been practicing being able to play in a loud environment. Listening for the head official, still going over with the other members of his crew. He's going to go talk to Coach Escola first. No touchdown signal yet, or well, at least not on the scoreboard. Still remains 17-13. The Rams just might have another touchdown wiped off the board on penalties. Not positive about it, but the official still talking with Coach Escola. And he'll probably have to go chat with Coach Rockwell on the other side of the field as well. But as soon as those penalty flags came flying, it seemed like every Ram player just collapsed when they knew, or they thought in the moment it was against them. This could be disastrous for the Rams, and it could give the Senators defense a little bit more time to catch their breath. Again, I am speculating. I don't want to do that. So while we have a moment, let's hear from our sponsor. First Community Bank is proud to serve the Little Rock community. We offer personal service and expertise in a full range of financial services that meet your needs. For all of your banking needs, First Community Bank has you covered. And if you need help figuring out which product is best for your needs, our knowledgeable and friendly staff are ready to help you find the best solution for your situation. First Community Bank, where community comes first. Member FDIC. And looks like the Rams, they're happy. It was a face mask on the defense. I think there was a holding on the offense, which the penalties offset. Touchdown counts. Now it does back up the extra point unit. So the Rams on for a First Community Bank extra point attempt. And they will be set at the 18, possibly. So it is a long extra point, and the last time they were backed up was a miss. So let's see if the Senators can benefit as they trail by 2 now with 10:01 in the fourth quarter. Vizcaris, extra point attempt, blocked by the Senators. What a play. It looks like Big Dominio Patterson on the extra point block.
Big Dominio Patterson is athletic, making those dominoes fall. Dominio, domino, make it fall. That's what I'm talking about, Mr. Patterson.
Hey, Coach Escola said that Patterson has potential to be one of the best linemen in the state. He plays both offensive and defensive linemen, but right there showing his worth on special teams. Now the Senators trail by 2, 17-19. The Rams, what a comeback in this second half. All 19 points here in the second half for Hot Springs Lakeside. Now Viscaris will kick it off with Deuce Williams, Michael Hayes, and Jordan Thomas set up just in front of their own end zone. And there's a penalty flag on the field. I believe it will probably be on the Senators. Maybe two illegal substitution, too many men on the field, not 100% sure. Wow.
What was it?
It is unsportsmanlike conduct.
On the Senators?
Oh, no, on the Rams.
Oh.
I have no idea what that was about. So it will back up Lakeside, and they will be kicking, let's see where they mark them at the 25-yard line.
To give you an update on another score with our PCS, with the Parkview Patriots, they trailed 24-10 early in the third quarter as Bryan is starting to stretch their lead after a turnover by the Patriots.
Well, penalties have been the story of the second half, especially really the fourth quarter. And we're 1:59 into the fourth quarter, and penalties have ravaged that last drive by the Rams. Now, Deuce Williams will return this kick here, waiting for blockers. He's got some room to run, and he will be down at the 46-yard line. A solid return by the junior Deuce Williams.
The Senator offense has been struggling in the second half. Good job by Deuce Williams to get him in good field position. That might jumpstart this offense after, you get a nice special teams play with a blocked extra point. Nice special teams play from Deuce Williams for a nice return. Let's see if this offense can really build off that and try to get into the end zone.
If you're Coach Escola in the offense, you really want to see them get going here. Abrams, solid run of about 4 yards on the first down carry. Actually, only give him 3 yards on the carry. So 2nd and 7 from the 49-yard line. Hayes in motion. Handoff again to Abrams. Abrams, again, maybe about 2 yards on the second down carry. They will mark him down at the Ram 49.
The Rams are doing a good job in trying to force this Senator offense into throwing the football. Brad was making connections a lot in the first half, but in the second half hasn't really found his groove yet.
And listen to that band. That is the Lakeside band just blaring whatever notes they can on third down. Braden passing. That's got to be
a flag.
No flags on the field. Abrams shot. It looked like his arms were being held.
That was a pass interference call.
Wow,
for
that was
sure.
Wow.
It looked like one of the officials kind of reached for his flag and then held on to it. Not really sure what happened there. Let's see what Coach Escola decides to do.
I think he's going to keep the offense out on the field. The long snapper almost ran out on there.
He's going to call a timeout, try to think it over a little bit. 8:30 left to go in this ball game. It's a tight one here at Joe T. Robinson. So Coaching School's got a big decision to make coming up on 4th down.
17-19 is your score, with the Hot Springs Lakeside Rams leading by 2 with 8:39 left to play. Again, penalties have been the story here in the 4th quarter. The last drive was a lot longer than it really was. Only about 2 minutes went off the clock on Lakeside's great drive for a touchdown, but the touchdown was called back once and almost twice because of penalties. And now the Joe T. Robinson. Oh, no, I say the Joe T. That's stadium music. So we're hearing a lot of noise, some stadium music. The band's playing both sides, and now it is 4th down, 4th and 5
Big
from the
play
49.
here for the Senators. Come on, let's get a conversion.
Braden back to pass, under pressure, throwing.
Let's it go.
He's got
Hayes.
his man. Hayes
Michael Hayes
on
with
the
the catch.
4th down reception. Michael Hayes, how do you do?
Michael Hayes coming up clutch for the Senators offense. Nice job by Braden to just loft it up there and let his receiver get under that one. Good call, good play call, good job. What a clutch play by the Senators. That could end up being a game-changing play come to the end of this ball game.
Yeah, they were set up at the Ram 49, and if they do not convert, that's pretty good field position for Lakeside. But the gamble play pays off. Big pickup on 4th down. Handoff to Abrams. Abrams cuts back, and he'll push ahead. He kept the feet turning.
It's about a 6-yard carry.
Yeah, well,
5,
4.
6.
Let's call it 4. Because I think that's where they have it marked. Let's see. Yep, it is 2nd and 6 from the 19-yard line. So
that's a good pickup. I'd like to see. Let's see if they can't let Braden throw this one out. Maybe a quick little screen pass that would out to a receiver.
So the Senators officially in the red zone. Hand off to Abrams.
Ooh,
Abrams, big pickup. Blockers out in front.
Yes, sir.
Touchdown. Oh, there's penalty flags on the field. For now, it's a touchdown for the Senators, but there is at least one penalty flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. This could be. Oh, it is going to be holding on the Senators. So that touchdown, you can wipe it off the board. And the Senator fans not happy at all with that call.
I think they were called. I'm not sure who they called that on. Oh, that's a gut punch for the Senators as they finally got in the end zone for the first time this half, and it gets called back. You can't let that get you down. Still second down, 2nd and 6. You got a good chance to get a first down and really make something out of this. So don't get down and try to keep that ball moving.
2nd and 6 from the 19-yard line. Handoff to Abrams again. A big first down, big cutback. Touchdown, Senators!
This man will not be denied, folks. That's what I'm talking about. He gets it called back. He said, okay, that's fine. Let me do it one more time. Nick Abrams showing up big time here in the 4th quarter.
3rd rushing touchdown on the season for the senior back. There go the fireworks. And the Senators on for the first community extra point attempt. It is William Tate, Braden holding, and that is good. The Senators take the lead, 24-19 on the First Community Bank extra point. Get ahead of your finances with First Community Bank with one of their personal or business checking options. First Community Bank, where the Senator community comes first.
What more can you say about this senior running back, Nick Abrams? He gets denied with a penalty, comes back, shoves it in there one more time. That's just what you expect your seniors to do, especially somebody like this who is a huge leader for this football team. Nick Abrams, can't say more enough about him.
2 touchdowns so far on the night 4 touchdowns total on the season in 3 games.
He just has a nose for the end zone, man. Last week we saw it, and again, we're seeing it here again.
Yep, he had 2 rushing touchdowns, or excuse me, 1 rushing touchdown last week in the win over Jonesboro, along with 78 rushing yards.
Well, he had a
couple of
2-point.
receptions.
He had a 2-point conversion too. So
that is true. Yeah, so he found the end zone twice. But Tate on for the kickoff, and much better than the previous one he had, and it's going to be actually a pretty decent return. He's still going. That was number 5, Darren Owens. Kept his feet moving, stayed up until he was down about the 31-yard line. It's a solid return for the junior running back. So Wally Walcott and the Ram offense will be set up at the 32-yard line on their side of the field. 6:39 left to play in this ball game. They trail by 5. This is a lot of time for the Rams. Here goes the offense. Hand off to Oman. Oman right side. Good carry of about 4 or 5 yards on the first down run. That sets up the Rams with 2nd and manageable. Let's see where they officially mark him down. Second and 6 from the 37-yard line. Oman still in the backfield. Doubt he comes out of the game for the rest of the night. Oman following his blockers. That will be, it may be enough for a first down run, and yes, it will be. So give the first down to Grady Oman. A solid start for the Rams, and you got to think that they're going to try to drain the clock as much as they can, but still be able to get in the end zone. There is a lot of time, 5:43 and counting down.
You know, if
hand off again to Oman. Oman, another few yards. Oman is just, he's not getting huge pickups on this drive. He's getting just enough, getting halfway to the first down marker.
The way I always viewed it, if you're down more than a field goal, I don't really like the idea of trying to drain the clock, especially without the lead. You got to get into the end zone. Why even mess with your rhythm or timing or anything like that by trying to milk the clock? You need to just let your offense do what it does. Go out here and try to score. At least maybe try to milk the clock when you get closer to the end zone, but not when you're in the middle of the field like this.
Oman again. First down and more for Grady Oman. Finally brought down. Flag on the play. It might be on the Senators. Possibly a late hit. Not 100% sure. Let's see what the official ruling is. It'll be face mask on the Senators. So tack on a few more yards for the Rams.
All right, this Senator defense, you know, there's still a lot of yards till they get into that end zone. You know, maybe a turnover right here. Yeah, you just take the air out of their sails completely. So let's see what this Senator offense can't do. You got to stop this run. Oman has been eating you alive, running the ball all game, especially in this second half. You've got to figure out a way to stop him. I mean, he's not even in the ball game right now.
That is interesting. So I was wrong. It's going to be Britton Diaz in at running back. He's had a solid night as well. He will get the handoff, waiting for his blockers.
Nice
and
job.
That play is blown up by Deuce Williams in the backfield, losing about 2 yards. So number 2 forcing, well, number 4 to go back 2 yards. Didn't work out the way I planned it.
That's exactly what you needed if you're this their Senator defense, you put them back behind the sticks. Now they've got a long way to go. Now you're set up for a good job, a good chance right here to stop them.
2nd and 12 from the 19. The Rams still in the red zone. 3 receivers bunched up to the right. Omen back. They're going pass. That's blocked by, you guessed it, Dominio Patterson. Dominio Patterson that is really his second swat of the game. He had the extra point block earlier in the quarter, and now a swat down pass.
You know, this defensive line for the Senators is very impressive, but we find ourselves saying some of these names a lot, and that's Caleb Doucette and Dominio Patterson. Dominio Patterson gets back there, knocks it down. He's really just coming up in the clutch, especially right now. You know, when you can make a play this late in the ball game, in a close game like this, that's a huge impact for your team.
Okay, 6'3", 320. So he's got some size, but he's pretty athletic and has active hands. Yes, he does. Walcott, sack by Caleb Doucette.
I mean, it's almost like he just knows when to turn it on. He knows, hey, I got to get back there. I got to make a sack. I got to make an impact play for my team and put this defense on my back. Caleb Doucette, man, you can't say enough about him. That's his second sack of the ball game.
Second sack of the ball game. He had the very clutch sack last week in the win over 6A Jonesboro. And another clutch sack, forcing 4th down. 4th and 22 from the 29. 3:20 and counting down. Expect a pass here without a doubt.
This could be the game right here.
Omen in the backfield. 2 receivers to the right.
Senator fans are getting loud.
And there's
flag on the play.
Yep, a man came on late. That was Ben Vincent, who came on late from the sideline. Let's see what the official ruling is. It should be on the Rams. Yep, illegal substitution.
No, they called a timeout. It was a timeout. They called a timeout.
They
called a timeout before they got the penalty.
So a close, clutch timeout by the Rams sideline. But what defense has been played on this drive? First, you have Deuce Williams coming up with the tackle for loss. And then you have Dominio Patterson swatting down the pass. And then
Caleb Doucette coming in, doing what he does best, eating those sack lunches all day long.
3rd sack of the season for Doucette, the senior, one of the leaders on this defense, trying to make a name for himself as one of the top edges in all of 5A.
Yeah, man, you know, he deserves a lot of credit. Last week with the huge sack to end the ball game, right here, that might have put them in an unconvertible down right here. So this is the biggest play of the ball game right here, folks.
Senator secondary playing safe. Walcott looking. There's a flag on the field. Will be on its false start on the Rams, so it will back them up another 5 yards.
4th and a mile here, folks. So with them having to burn that timeout, now they only have 2 timeouts left. So if they get a stop here and get a first down on offense, that's probably the game.
It is 4th and 27 from the 34-yard line of the Senators.
Chris, we were talking about it before the game started. 5A, I think that's the toughest division in all of Arkansas football, high school football. There's just so many teams with so much talent, and right here you're seeing it on a great Friday night. You got an amazing ball game, tight one here at Joe T. Robinson.
Everybody on their feet. Game clock ticking down. Actually, they reset it to 25. Not sure what that was about. Now the game clock counting down from 20. Walcott back against the wall. Pressure, Intercepted! Deuce Kyron Grimes. He's got blockers. He's going to be tackled out of bounds. Kyron Grimes with one of the plays of the game.
Kyron Grimes says, "This is our house. Let's put an end to all this nonsense." As he gets the interception, puts it all the way to the other side of the field, and now the Senators have a good chance to just put this one away.
But Kyron Grimes, the sophomore, has been making plays on both sides of the football all season long. He's got a couple of catches on the year, but entering this game, 6 tackles, 3 of them solo, 1 forced fumble. Now you can add an interception, his first of his career, to his varsity totals.
Coach Rockwell for the Rams mentioned this to the media earlier on this week, is that whoever wins the turnover battle is probably going to win this ball game. Right now, the Senators winning the turnover battle with 2 compared to the Rams 1.
Thomas in the backfield, and he's going to get the carry, and he's going outside, cuts back, cutting on the other side of the field.
Oh
Jordan Thomas, oh my goodness, what a carry, what a run. Jordan Thomas, he is down, not out of bounds. The clock is still running, counting down from 2:38. It will stop briefly for the first down, but what a run by Jordan Thomas.
I'm going to start calling him the Magic Man, because every time he touches the ball, it's like magic out there. He totally reverses field and somehow gets a first down out of it. Fantastic play.
Now, if you're Coach Escola, you may not have liked that very much. That was a pretty risky run, but it paid off.
Either way, even if he got tackled for a loss, he burned a lot of time off the clock.
He sure did. Now Thomas still in the backfield. 2 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. Tyler in at tight end. They are burning as much clock as they can, letting the game clock tick down. It's at 5, 4, 3, and that's when the handoff to Thomas will occur. And that is actually a pretty good run by Thomas. It was Luke Rubleski on the tackle for the Rams.
You know, we haven't really seen Thomas run the ball a lot this game, and you can tell because he comes in there and you can see how fresh his legs are. He's definitely, he looks a lot fresher out there than a lot of the players on the field right now.
Well, I know he was antsy to just get out there. He split carries with Nick Abrams so far this year in the first 2 games. And he was wanting to get back out there and make a name for himself. He probably knows we've all been talking about Nick Abrams tonight and his clutch plays. And he's probably like, well, talk about me too. Thomas, backfield, handoff from Braden. Thomas stays on his feet, down at the 3.
That's going to give him another first down, I think.
So another great run on 2nd down, picking up first down.
I think they could just kneel it 3 times in a row here and end the ball game.
There will be a timeout for Lakeside.
So I think, if I'm not mistaken, after this timeout, they could take a knee. Rams call another timeout, and then they take another knee, and I think that's it.
They sure can, and I'm sure that Jordan Thomas really would like to get a carry into the end zone, but out of sportsmanship and strategy, it is probably the right move to take a few knees. Let's see what the Senators have to do after their huddle. But what a game, a roller coaster of a game. The Rams, what a comeback. 3 touchdowns in the second half, and then the Senators all of a sudden come back, finally get the running game going after really nothing all game long, and then they come back.
They had a few breakout runs, but there was nothing consistent of like 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards. It was just a few breakout runs here and there. Deuce Williams with a couple 20-yard-plus runs. Abrams had a couple 20-yard-plus runs, and Abrams was kind of their main back all game long that they were featuring. Either way, it's just a great outcome here for the Senators, as this was Hooten's game of the week that they had picked up. So very impressed with the Senators coming out here and taking care of business. Victory formation, the formation you love to see.
And Braden will take a knee. He'll have to do it a couple more times. Lakeside does have 1 timeout to spare.
I don't think they're going to use it.
Probably not. The writing is on the wall in this game. They will have to kneel down one more time to officially come away with their first conference and first home victory of the 2024 season.
Wait,
and there is
so
a
they
timeout.
call a timeout.
Yeah, they are going to call a timeout. Not sure why they let so much time go off the clock.
I don't know. I think maybe he was a little indecisive. He was like, should I just let it run out? He was like, no, let's burn all our timeouts because, you know, if you don't burn all your timeouts, it kind of seems like you give up. You don't ever want to feel like you just gave up. You know, call a timeout. And I don't know, something crazy might happen.
Hey, you never know. There could be a fumble on the snap.
Anything.
Probably not. The Senators have a good center in C.J. Bryant, who's been, I think, a 2 or 3 year starter, and, of course, Tyson Braden.
Speaking of centers, the Arkansas Razorbacks were struggling mightily snapping the ball back to Tylen Green last week.
They could use C.J. Bryant.
Yeah, I think they could because he doesn't give me a headache, unlike the snapper for Arkansas Razorbacks who caused numerous hiccups on offense and ended up probably losing us the game.
Well, as pretty much probably everybody watching the broadcast, you're from Arkansas or you're an Arkansas football fan. So I imagine most of you will be tuned into tomorrow's home game against Alabama Birmingham. And that will be the final kneel down of the game.
Well, there's 12 seconds left on the play clock.
No,
so
they have to reset. They're just letting it run.
Okay.
I believe. I'm not really sure. It should
be. The offense is coming off the field, so I think they're letting it run out.
And
yeah.
Yep, so officially the Senators get the victory 24-19 over the Hot Springs Lakeside Rams. What a victory for Coach Escola and his crew.
That's another huge win for this Senators team. A lot of momentum on their side heading into week 3. I know Coach Escola's got to be very pleased with his team as they are going to be taking on Watson Chapel at home next week. Not an easy game. Another tough 5A opponent. So you as the fireworks are going off, celebration's about to begin after a great win here on their home turf. Make sure you tune into our ball game next week early and catch whoever we're about to say for our MVPs with Coach Escola.
Well, I will mention next week the Senators actually have the week off, so it will not be until
a bye week.
It is a bye week, so the Senators get some much-needed rest, and they will be taking on the Watson Chapel football team on September 27th here at home. It will be the second game before they head out onto the road to face Jacksonville in October 4th. Now, for the Lakeside Rams, they will have a tough test. They also have the bye week next week, but they will be taking on Camden Fairview at Camden Fairview September 27th, a team that was picked second in the 5A South. But what a game, and I do have to give another shout-out to our sponsor for the first time this season, First Community Bank. Here at First Community Bank, we believe that investing in our communities provides us all with a brighter future. And it's something we've been doing since we were founded in 1997. We're proud to support the Senators and everything they do, not just because they're great athletes, but because they represent what makes community so special. People coming together to work hard and make something amazing happen. When you bank local, everyone wins. Go Senators! From First Community Bank, where community comes first, member FDIC. But what a win. I want to go ahead and hear from you, your offensive and defensive MVPs.
Okay, before we leave you here, let's start off with Braden. Braden was just fantastic in this game. Tyson Braden, 2 touchdowns through the air, a couple of clutch plays there in the fourth quarter that extended a drive that ended up giving them the lead.
Fourth quarter pass to Michael Hayes.
That pass right there, like I said, I think I said it in the moment. I said that might be the game-changing play, and it was. It ended up being their go-ahead touchdown, which got them this win. That was a great play. Honorable mention to Nick Abrams, who really ran the ball well and got into the end zone himself in 2 different ways. One through the air and one on the ground. Very impressive by him. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I think this could go to a lot of guys, but I think let's go ahead and give it to Grimes, who made that play, that game-ending interception and got it all the way to the other side of the field and really just put the nail in the coffin on this one. Just a great job by Grimes on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. So fantastic play on both sides for the Senators team.
Well, my offensive player of the game is, like you said, Tyson Brad, and it's hard not to. First of all, he had that interception in the first quarter, but he was able to come back from that and have a couple of touchdowns after. Now, of course, the offense had struggled in the third quarter to really get going, but he made that huge pass. Not many players can make a pass like that to Michael Hayes to convert on fourth down. I'd like to see a lot of NFL quarterbacks try to consistently make that pass, and he was able to. And on defense, it's got to be Caleb Doucette. Two sacks in this game. Both of them came at huge periods of the game, especially since the Senators really weren't able to get a lot of pressure on Walcott consistently.
I agree. You know, I think we're going to be saying his name a lot for the rest of this year, and I hope he keeps showing up in big-time moments like we saw this week and last week.
I'm sure the senior will. I could have also given it to Grimes or probably Tank Reese. Don't know how many tackles he had, probably double digits at this point. It's just the norm with Tank Reese. Well, that will do it for us here tonight, live at Charlie George Stadium on the campus of Joe T. Robinson High School. The Senators come away with the conference victory 24-19 to open up their home season. Well, thank you all for tuning in to the Robinson Sports Network, presented by Natural State Sports. We will see you again September 27th as the Senators take on Watson Chapel. Until then, be safe, have a great evening, and go Senators!